Hey, everybody. Hey, K-Pasto. Hey, Mackenzie. Hey, Jujubee. Hey, Stargazer. Hey, Savs. Hey, Mister. Hey, Lacey. What else we got here? Or Lace. Lace or Lacey. However. Not sure how. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Pure Madness. We have Blessed in here. We got Jay. Sky Cutie. I think that's everyone so far. Heck yeah. Caught up. How y'all doing today, guys? Sorry I'm a little late. Everything has been running behind today as normal. Especially thanks to my job today. Ugh. They had me come in at 2 a.m., okay? And they're like, hey, it's just a 6-hour shift, man. We're sorry, like, it's your day off, But hey, if you could come and do that, I was like, yeah, sure thing. 6 hours turns to 11 hours. Of course it does. And, I feel like they had every reason to believe that it was going to go that way. I really do. But, of course, it is what it is. Oh, one's your name and one's your nickname. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah. Hey, that works then. I guess I can never be wrong at that point. I appreciate it. Innovative Dunce. Good to see ya. Velvet Lace. Okay, well, now I'm going to call you Velvet Lace. No, I'm sure it's Velvet Lace. That wouldn't make any sense, would it? Hey, Wolf. Hey, Destroyer. Hey, Vicky. Hello, Kansas City Jayhawks. Alrighty. Oh, we got a solid crowd today, don't we? Yeah. Well, I mean, look, that's the thing. That's why I'm not super upset per se. It is a nice chunk of overtime. And I don't get too many opportunities for overtime per se. So there is that. But I was very specific that I needed to be back home by 8 a.m. And they decided that wasn't going to happen. Hey, Jack. So, it is what it is, I guess. And I had to prepare a lot. The kids really wanted to see me today and stuff, so I felt bad. So I had to spend a little time with them and cut into some time. Hey, nobody. I feel like nobody came straight out of the not the Iliad. Shoot. They're making a movie about it right now. It's going to be terrible, probably, but the Odyssey. There it is. The Odyssey. That's what I was thinking of. Man. Nobody. A femboy with the name of Velvet? Can I ask? Well, I actually don't know if I want the answer to that. I'll bite. Why? Why do you know somebody like that? That's funny. I guess, could be a family member, could be passerby, or who knows. That's very funny to just blurt out, though. I love it. That's hilarious. Oh, Dickinson poem. Duh, no, but okay, I got you. That's a good one. That's a classic right there. Charles Dickens. Or wait, no. Dickinson poem, not Charles Dickens. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of a different thing, aren't I? Who am I thinking of? Is this? Oh, Emily Dickinson. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay, I'm nobody here. Yeah, I know this one. I'm nobody. Gotcha. Yep. Okay. I have seen that. I think we went over almost all of Emily Dickinson's stuff in school. This is far better than Dr. Pepper. This is a very rare soda that I very rarely get to ever have, so I could not say no. This is Mr. Pibb. And no, it's not Dr. Pibb. It's Mr. Pibb. Or wait. Extra Pibb. Pibb Extra. This isn't Pibb Extra. This is Mr. Pibb. They brought back Mr. Pibb. And when I saw it, I was like, wait a minute. Mr. Pibb? I haven't seen that for like 20 years. So I was like, I gotta get it. That's like my favorite soda ever of all time. Mr. Pibb is like, oh man, I very rarely get to have it. Let's put it that way. So I could not say no. And I am going to wash down those calories with not only 1 bottle of water, but 2 bottles of water. Because I felt guilty for getting a soda. But I was like, you know what? I deserve a cheat time every now and then. It's been 3 weeks without soda. So, bam. Oh, I remember RC Cola. Oh, yeah. You got an RCCR? Ever had an RCCR? You know what I'm talking about with that? I want to see how many people know what an RCCR is. Because that is like, yeah. Crystal Pepsi, okay. Now let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy. Oh, man. Crazy stuff. How you doing, Bree? That's funny. Yeah, Crystal Pepsi. What am I, why do I have this page pulled up? Let's have this one pulled up. There's a... Bum 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 ba na 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 da 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 da. Hey, no. There we go. Okay, we're good. Anybody seen the new Mortal Kombat movie? It's good stuff, isn't it? It's amazing, actually. The fact that they brought Kano back and made him a good guy, the most brilliant move they could have possibly made during that whole movie. During that whole movie. Now we got the full comedic relief. Every single other movie that's going to come out. It's going to be great. Anyway, what you guys... so RCCR is Royal Crown and Crown Royal. Royal Crown, Crown Royal. That used to be the best. Like, you know, like a Black Tooth Grin. Coca-Cola with a splash, or whiskey with a splash of Coca-Cola. Dimebag Darrell, he would always get one of those. He'd call it a Black Tooth Grin. Which is awesome. Rest in peace, Dime, for sure. You know, one of the greatest guitarists to have ever lived. And, turn that off. Let's see here. Just a face you always want to look at. Did you guys, see Project Constitution, his terrible, terrible video he put out yesterday, I guess? I missed it somehow. That I'm going to be going over tomorrow in a separate video. I'm going to get that out there tomorrow morning. And, yeah. Heck yeah, Dime. I got this thing tuned up. I think I'm going to change this guitar here out of this weird open tuning that I put it and put it on a different one. So there is that. Susie Q. Hey, Artie and everyone. I will be listening most of the time. Heck yeah. Thank you for being here. And thank you for that 5. I appreciate that. Seriously, I really appreciate y'all being here. Yeah, there's probably a lot of people that do that. Just put on the headphones and then walk around and stuff like that without looking at the screen. That's mainly what I do. 9 times out of 10, when I'm listening to YouTube, I got my headphones on and my phone's in my pocket. So that's why I try to... Some people get a little irritated when I describe things on the screen. They're like, dude, we see it. And I'm like, yeah, no, I know you see it, but like other people don't. Other people are listening to this like a podcast, so I have to describe things. And it's good to have that perspective, you know? Diet Vanilla Dr. Pepper is really good. I hate anything diet, but I also don't want to put any... I don't like putting sodas in my body unless they're made with cane sugar, but I don't think the Mr. Pibb is. I saw the Mr. Pibb and I was like, no, I gotta have it. Like, I haven't had it in like 20 years. So there's that. And it's just so good. So good. But anyway, because of this having a Floyd Rose and all that, and I just put in this AHB1, I can't chug on it. I cannot chug. I'm going to have to put this in drops, or yeah, probably drop C. So there is that. This is a weird tuning. Let me show you guys. There we go. Ugh. So long story short, I'm trying to learn wax wings on this, and that's a tricky song. I tried learning. I spent like 10 minutes on it last night. I just kind of got the intro. Let's see if I can get that again. That's a tough one. You got to string skip a lot. That is a tough intro. Look at what I got to do. I got to, like... Really weird. But it's in a weird tuning. Look at this. Look at this. Here's a normal chord. Hear how weird that is? Do a normal arpeggio and it's like... It's strange, right? So I'm not going to be able to probably do anything with that tuning once I learn Wax Wings. It's going to be like, all right, well, that's the one song I'm playing on that. Hopefully something else has that tuning because it's a very bizarre tuning I can't really wrap my head around. I don't know the intervals on this tuning at all. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of memorization on that. You know, but it's interesting. It's definitely very, very, very interesting. So I'm going to have some fun with it. I'm glad to have the AHB2. I don't know that I notice much of a difference between the AHB2 and the AHB1. AHB2 is supposed to have higher output, but through my X effects, I can't tell. So I'm going to try it through my amp and see if that's any different, but I also run it with a boost. So I don't know if there's even any point. But, you know, the AHB1 cost as much as the AHB2, and I always wanted to try the AHB2, so I was like, I got nothing to lose. It's higher output, so it's not like it's going to be worse, per se. I won't experience dips in volume, but, Oh, I love Stevie Ray Vaughan. Absolutely. That guy is so skilled. Was, I should say. His brother's incredibly... Is his brother still alive? His brother also has a signature guitar. Who's his brother again? Brother. Is his brother still around? Jimmy Vaughn. Yeah, he was born in 51, so he... Let's see. Is still alive. Yeah, he's 75 years old. He's a very skilled guitarist, too. Very, very skilled guitarist. Nobody knows him, really, which is sad. You guys should go check out Stevie Ray Vaughan's brother. Incredibly skilled musician. Incredibly skilled. Very, very good. But yeah. Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jimmy Vaughn, he just so good. Thank you for being here, Cherokee, by the way. Tiara, good to see you here, too. Andrea, great to see you. Pedro, always good to see you, too, man. You know, it's awesome to have all you guys in here. You all are absolutely amazing. So anyway, y'all ready to get on to this, garbage? Wait, Pittsburgh has their own dictionary? Really? Yeah, it's kind of funny if that's actually the case. We should put out an Oklahoma dictionary. Armed Saints, I got an SRV's t-shirt on as I speak. Heck yeah, your Strat guy. I would love to get a Strat. I had a great Stratocaster back in the day. I sold it to a good guy. He still got it, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, there's that. I replaced the single coils in it, though, with little 59 humbuckers, and that guitar sounded incredible. But at the time, I didn't have a guitar with 22 frets, or 24 frets, and I wanted that so bad. Now that I'm older and much more skilled than I was back then, really don't care if I have 24 frets or not. It's not a deal breaker for me at all. So I would really, really like to get a Strat again, but I'm definitely not buying Fender now with their stupid lawsuit coming out. I was praising Fender. I was like, I'm going to be a Fender guy now from here on out because of Gibson's stupid stunts that they kept pulling. Suing everyone for their body shape whenever it was like, dude, you guys have had 40 years to defend your copyright, and the copyright was up 20 years ago. They have 20 years to respond when people are, like, copying their stuff. They never sued. They never sued anybody in that 20 years. Fender they've had 60 years to defend their copyright, and it expired 40 years ago because they never defended it. Now they are suing for their body styles. And it's like, dude, no way. No way you're selling. They're selling not for just body styles. It's specifically for the Stratocaster. And it's like, Really, guys? The like, most iconic guitar of all time that is every single guitar has ever copied, that you've had decades to sue over and you've let it go, and now you wanna sue that everybody else has the legal right to actually copy it now? They have the complete legal right. Because, like I said, 60 years has gone by for them to defend their trademark. It's like, what? Really, guys? Now you all are going to try and do this? Like, here's the thing. When you see a Fender copy, you call it a Fender copy. Everybody or a Strat copy. Everybody knows it's a Strat. And everybody knows when they have their Strat that in order to get the good one, you get a real Strat. Everyone works their way up to it. So it's not like it was ever losing Fender any business. It never lost them any business. And so I'm just really bummed out by that. I'm like, you guys are selfish jerks. I'm like, I'm not buying a Strat now. I'll go buy a Silver Sky, a PRS Silver Sky. That's what I'm probably gonna end up getting one of these days if I could even afford. I don't know. Probably buy like maybe an LTD or something. Do they make Strats? Who makes a good Strat copy? Just out of curiosity. Let's see. Alrighty. Stuck her finger in a light socket. Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? Oh, poor girl. Don't worry, I get hair staticked out like that too. It's fine. It's fine. Sometimes I have messy hair days. She's got no excuse though. She's got like artists in her house. You know what I mean? Like, I work at a charcoal factory. I go into the shower and get out and hope everything's fine. You know? Oh, Sir is a great example. Yeah, Armed. What am I thinking? Duh. And not to mention, that's the greatest Fender builder of probably all time. And did you know that Sir himself actually was like for like over a decade the main guy who made Stratocasters for Fender? Like, he is like top dog builder. They really screwed up when they lost him. So yeah, the fact that Sir himself there is making those guitars, absolutely amazing. Yeah, I should get a Sir. But those are some top dollar guitars too. Those are some very expensive ones. But I would love to get a hold of one. Man, those are just beautiful. Beautifully made. Beautifully made. Have you seen what Dean Zielinski's been putting out with the dime guitars? Man, just amazing stuff. That snake etching on the flame maple top. Wow. Wow. I could nerd out all day. Here, I gotta close this window. The kids are screaming outside. And it's getting hot in here. Very, very hot. Did not know it was supposed to warm up. There we go. Let's see here. Set down to 7. Steaming hot. Are you wanting to go outside with them? Or are you getting upset? Okay. He can't stand when the kids are having fun without him, so I had to let the boy on out there. Alrighty, y'all ready to get this show on the road? Woo! Let's get it going here. Alrighty.
Administration completely crashed out over the Epstein files. That's at least according to the New York Times.
I must have missed this.
All right, you guys. Happy Thursday. Apparently, the Trump administration completely crashed out over the Epstein files. That's at least according to the New York Times. They did that long article.
Oh, yeah. So we're trusting the New York Times now because we're leftists now, right? Is that it? New York Times was fake news until Candace Owens got bought out by him.
Regarding how the administration got together, strategizing.
Bought out by the left. That's what I'm trying to say.
Over how to deal with the files, how they were going to address the public or misdirect the public. Obviously, Pam Bondi, the Binder episode. The Epstein files became the source of a lot of attention, so much so that Trump decided to meet with his top officials in the Situation Room to work through a public plan. The Situation Room, that's not what the Situation Room is for, you guys. Situation Room in the White House is supposed to be reserved for highly classified national security concerns.
I'm sure you have proof that they used it for that, though, right? And I'm sure that they needed your input on what it was actually for, this dictator of the world who happens to know everything about everything but doesn't really know everything about everything. Did y'all see my video where I stuck the microphone in my shirt, by the way, and just completely proved it wrong? I went back and rewatched the video, and there was no shirt rubbing sound at all. It's hilarious. She's such a dumb dummy. Big old dummy. Talks about things she doesn't know about, but presents them as fact. I heard a rumor that this happened. It's a fact. Okay, good job, Candace.
Not to deal with a random pedophile, should be, who controlled a global trafficking network. Why is it that our nation's top brass consider Jeffrey Epstein to be a national security concern?
I don't know that they do. Can you show any evidence to back that claim?
I don't want you guys to forget that I broke the story that the day before the administration was forced to drop those files online, many of which were redacted and removed for crappy reasons. They're still protecting people. Don't forget that.
Yeah, we get that. Something's amiss. Totally. Some people are being protected for sure. We don't know the full situation yet. We don't know if Trump's like, hey, I really can't release this information at least till, like, I don't know, last day of my presidency, maybe. While you're sitting here throwing a fit about how bad Trump is handling things, you don't even give him enough time to finish his presidency. You have no idea. This is the order of operations, okay, Candace? Order of operations are very simple. Well, number one, economy. Economy is the number one most important thing right now. For 99% of Americans, they don't care about the Epstein files at the moment. We care about them, but they're not the number one most prioritizing thing. They're like number 4 on this list. Number 2 on the list, closing the border. Number 3, deporting the illegals. No. I'll put the border and illegals in the same category. Number 3, election security. Okay? So number 1, economy. Number 2, deportations and closing the border. Number 3, election security. That's 99% of Americans, what they care about more than anything. Number 4 would be the Epstein files. Once we get the other 3 done, I would love to dive into the Epstein files as deep and as much as possible, because once the other 3 things are done, I got nothing else to worry about. As a working class person, I want the economy fixed so I could put food on the table for my daughters and it not cost me an arm and a leg. As a working class person who has been hit head on by an illegal immigrant, and it cost me well over $30,000 out of pocket, I would absolutely love to get that issue taken care of. Those are much more important to 99% of Americans. The Epstein files don't affect us directly because, well, we're not rich a-holes. You know what I mean? We're not rich a-holes. So we can't really afford to be able to be distracted from what's right in front of our faces at the moment. Real crime is something that every single person in my tax bracket has to deal with. And also, not being able to afford good, healthy meals. You see, here's the problem. We can go out and we can get a whole bunch of, like, garbage meals at Walmart and stuff like that, stuff that's slowly killing us, but we would really like to put good meals on our tables. Knowing that our girls and well, not just our girls, because I'm sure I have girls, but other people have boys. Making sure that our kids in general are getting a good, healthy meal is probably one of the most important things. Not just giving them a Hot Pocket. You know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know, it's pretty easy. Pretty easy to get the order of operations in the correct order, Candace. But you don't know that. Candace Owens is very, 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 very wealthy. She's very privileged. She doesn't understand the struggles of a normal American at all.
The day before, Andrew Colbert was mysteriously seen at the White House, particularly in the executive office building.
I don't know that that's mysterious. He's part of a news organization.
Attempted at the same time to fake a live show. What I mean is essentially he pre-recorded a Charlie Kirk show.
No. Nick Shirley already debunked this. It was live right there in there. So why are you going back to this? You even conceded to that. Did you forget?
With Kash Patel as his guest. Perfect. Kash Patel was helping him do this. to present as though he was in Arizona.
Okay.
But in fact, Andrew Colvett was in Washington, D.C.
Cool. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. Nick Shirley definitely debunked you on this, but okay. We'll go with it again.
taking a meeting. The question is with who and regarding what? Because when I broke the story, I had no idea the next day that they would be dropping the Epstein files. Now that seems a little bit, the timing of it, a bit suspicious.
Do you know how many people are in government that have absolutely, like, that went into government, like news reporters, stuff like that, that would have had nothing to do with the files? And then you're just like, oh, Epstein, he had to go there, and then they dropped the Epstein files. Why would Andrew Colvett, what specifically would he have, what would he need to be there for on those files? What would he need to be there for? As far as I know, Colvett isn't anybody in any kind of leadership position, period, that could possibly have anything to do with anything involving the Epstein files releases or anything like that. Even if he is very heavily involved with Epstein, he still would be pretty low on that list of people that would need to be there for anything. What could he have had to have, what could he have offered the government? What? What, was he there redacting? They have people to do that for them. What are you talking about?
And I just realized that we should formally file an FOIA request to get to the bottom
Oh, I see what Candace is doing. She's trying to get the government to get clogged up. Okay.
of that. Who was Andrew Colvett meeting with at the White House? Because there seems to me to be a lot of proximity to Jeffrey Epstein in the Charlie Kirk story. And that's what I want to discuss today. Welcome back to Candace.
Yeah, this is probably the most brain-dead conspiracy theory I think I've heard of yet. There is no reason why Andrew Colvett, even if he was directly involved in the files, that he would even need to go there involving anything in the files. Like, it just doesn't make sense at all. Not even a little bit. Like, that is some cope.
Are we living starting to feel like we're living in Jeffrey?
There we go.
Are we living in Epstein Nation? Are you guys starting to feel like we're living in Jeffrey Epstein Nation, that
No, Candace, I'm not.
everybody that pretends to be successful authentically is somehow tied into a broader network?
You? That sounds like you. You. That's you, Candace. You did that. Oh.
Quickly at the top here, I also want to note that I slightly misspoke yesterday.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, no kidding? Where?
And it needs clarification. I briefly mentioned
Wait, which one? Because you misspoke on a lot.
that when Erica came into Charlie's life, it was just as Jeffrey Epstein went down.
Yeah, that is a ridiculous statement because they got into each other's lives in 2018, and Epstein would pass away in 2019. So yeah.
And I said it was within the same month that he committed suicide. That's
Oh wow, I should have caught that myself. I guess I missed that one in the whole flood of other lies that she told.
inaccurate, actually.
Okay.
That timeline needs to be slightly adjusted. It wasn't when he fake committed suicide. It was rather when Charlie and Erica went on their first date in August of 2018. That was the exact same time frame when the Epstein scandal initially broke out, right?
Okay, so the Epstein files broke out, and for some reason, Erica Kirk was like, "Oh God, now that they're getting released, I have to get with Charlie." Okay.
Was the unsealing of a lawsuit between Ghislaine Maxwell and Virginia, the young woman who was at the source of the Epstein scandal, a defamation lawsuit. And it led to this massive expose in the Miami Herald, a full piece on Jeffrey Epstein, the sweet deal that he got despite his admission of what he had done to underage girls. And that piece was eventually published. It was like a big brewing of a storm. And then the piece dropped in November of 2018. So essentially 2018 was the year that everything began to unravel.
Okay. And this has what to do with Erica and Charlie dating?
And in my mind, I feel that the entire Epstein network then pivoted and simply reemerged elsewhere, because a global network of that size is not just going to go away. That's not how these things work. It is way too profitable to evil people. His trafficking network, I should remind you, we were working on our Epstein series leading up to Charlie's assassination. Jeffrey Epstein's trafficking network was once deeply embedded in the pageantry and modeling world. Okay, I find it suspicious now that Donald Trump, when he knew him, was running Miss Universe pageantry. It seems like the perfect kind of a place that Jeffrey Epstein would run women through, right?
Well, too bad he didn't. He had a modeling agency, the Next Modeling Agency, which you haven't proven that Erica Kirk had anything to do with.
Particularly women from Eastern Europe. He found young, impoverished minors from war-torn countries, wars that were being waged because of the actions of our government. And then he funneled them into modeling agencies and across Victoria's Secret runways while the world oohed and awed at their beauty and their fresh faces, never imagining that something so sadistic and perverse could be sitting just beneath. And it is the very reason why, when we discovered that Erica Kirk, or I should say Erica Francfay, while she was living in New York City, was hanging around, we discovered she was hanging around at the Next Model Management Office.
What do you mean hanging around? Like, what do you mean by hanging around? Hold on. I want to see what you're talking about. Was Erica Kirk ever involved with Next Model? Let's see. I can't remember if she actually did do an interview or not, if that was just another Candace lie. I think she did one interview, and then they just were like, not quite for us. And moved on from her, and that was it. I don't think she actually was there, though, was she? Maybe that, I don't know. It's been so long, and trying to keep up with every single thing that Candace Owens has claimed is really difficult. No, there's no verified evidence that Erica Kirk, Francfay, I don't remember seeing but okay, was ever involved with Next Modeling Agency, also known as the Next Model Management or Next Models. Background on Erica Kirk. Erica Kirk is we know she has claims and origins. Unverified allegations have circulated online, especially since 2026, claiming she attended business meetings with Next Modeling Agency, procured or worked with models in connection with Jeffrey Epstein, was seen using the agent's offices alongside Epstein. Let's see. That was loud. All right. Not why. It's Candace. There we go. So frustrating.
Which was a talent agency that was run by close Jeffrey Epstein friend Faith Cates.
Again, so Erica Kirk had nothing to do with these people. At least as far as evidence goes, zero. You made all this up. Do you have any evidence to show that Erica was ever involved with this?
We had questions. Again, the people who worked there alleged that Erica was the point of contact for the model department, and they find it to be suspicious because Jeffrey Epstein was often at their offices. These Eastern European women that they were bringing in for quote-unquote suits, described as men involved in the business, and a lot of these women, they reflect, sort of disappeared. Where did a lot of these women go?
People want to know.
Brings a reasonable question, an easy question, by the way, to answer.
I have no idea.
Did Erica Francfay in any way have any association with the Jeffrey Epstein orbit? Because it's not clear what she was doing while she was in New York.
I mean, if it's not clear what she was doing in New York, why are you saying it's clear what she was doing in New York with Next Modeling Agency? You have no evidence.
Cates, I should mention, never turned her back on Jeffrey Epstein. She supported him even after that 2009 arrest. And like I said, there were so many Eastern European models that were being brought through her office, many of whom were subsequently then flown to parties in the Virgin Islands. It is also a fair question to ask, what does Erica know about those models? What was she doing with those apartments? Who exactly linked her with this office? What were her qualifications? There might be a reasonable explanation, but I'd like to hear it because Erica Kirk now has access to American high school students via Turning Point's Club America.
Okay. So she's doing high school students. I thought you said, look at all these women. You know what's funny about this? Didn't you just last week say that Erica Kirk didn't have any of the youth women at all. So therefore, that's why she started her old hags women's leadership thing. And then what do we have here? Let's count the boys here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, they made the boys go take the back seat. That's funny. That's probably because they're taller. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 boys here. Let's count up the girls. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, 13 boys. Right? Oh, did I get it right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nope, it was 12. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Poor girl. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Well, it looks like she's got the youth by a pretty big margin there. Youth women. I thought you said that she was just running a thing of old hags. I feel bad for this one, though. She wanted a picture with Erica and all that so bad. She's just right here. Gotta acknowledge the one trying so hard to come through. So, just pointing that out there. Oops. My finger doesn't reach it. It's cut off right there. So, wrong place. Over there. Anyway, you guys see what I'm saying.
She's speaking at high schools across the country. And in my view, no parent in the United States or abroad should accept a Turning Point USA high school chapter in their child's school.
Why? Specifically, why? What did they do? What did TPUSA do specifically that you can prove that is dangerous for the parents? Why should the parents not? See, this is how Candace Owens ends up damaging their entire business model, right? Hear what she just said? She could definitely be liable for. Absolutely be liable for. This is an insane claim to make, Candace.
Without a very clear understanding of what Erica was doing in association with Next Model Management.
Please give us that clear understanding, Candace. Show me proof.
That's easy. That's easy.
Okay,
if you asked me, Candace, I would just answer the question.
Do it.
Being a widow does not remove you from how...
No. You just said we need to have a clear understanding as to what she was doing with Next Modeling Agency. You're going to show us what she was doing with Next Modeling Agency. See, that's how it works, Candace. When you make a claim, you have to back it. This is getting absolutely ridiculous. By the way, if you guys are new here, please hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys so much.
Having to answer a question of this magnitude. And there's more, you guys. Since everyone, including Trump, seems to run tangential to the Epstein network and Eastern Europe, everyone having to deny, oh, I knew him. Trump's like...
But you can't prove that he ever had anything to do with him, huh?
I employed Virginia Giuffre. I employed her at Mar-a-Lago, but I once kicked Jeffrey Epstein out. Well, we hung out at parties.
I mean, he's got proof that he kicked him out. He's been very consistent. He's got proof in the files that he called the police on Epstein. You don't bring that up, though.
But I kicked him out for other reasons. Truly, I think the reason that they had disagreement, it was actually over a real estate deal. It wasn't because of Jeffrey.
Any evidence to support that at all? A real estate deal? Is there any proof of that? You just come up with stuff off the top of your head too often. Oh, I bet it was just real estate. Oh, I bet they got into a golf argument. I bet one of them ended up farting in the elevator and the other one was just so offended by it that he was like, I can't be here anymore. Get him out. Get him out of here. That bastard farted. Sorry, guys. I should have said. I just slipped that one right out of my mouth. Get him out of here. This dirty dog just farted in my elevator while I was there breathing in the clean air. I was very upset by that. That's stinky Epstein. That's what we call it now when somebody farts in the elevator. We call it a stinky Epstein.
Epstein's parties or anything inappropriate that he was doing.
All right.
But it's weird. It's like his name just keeps coming up. And then we learn that he's calling Charlie Kirk, right? He's and upset about Charlie Kirk allowing people to roast the Epstein.
That never happened, Candace, and you have no evidence for it either. You have no evidence. The people who released that, it's like a chapter out of their book that they're promoting, that they're just saying that this happened, but they were not there, and they will not tell us who told them. So I have a big problem with that. When people make a book and they are trying to sell it to people, saying, oh yeah, Trump ended up calling Charlie and brought him into this like war room or something like that, and then proceeded to scream at him over the Epstein files. Like, as if Charlie wouldn't have just went right online and then been like, dude, Trump's covering up the Epstein files, and he screamed at me for it. Yeah, because Charlie definitely wouldn't have done that at all, right? He would have just been like, oh, yes, sir, I'm so sorry, sir, for the cause of Israel, sir, and then went back to doing his thing? Really? But I thought he was having a falling out. That just doesn't make sense. If Trump is screaming at him, why would he not then be like, dude, I have a right to question these files, and you're yelling at me? Absolutely not. And Charlie would have reported on that. I don't think Charlie Kirk was a coward, Candace. I don't think he was a coward like you think he was. I know you didn't like the guy, but I'm pretty sure Charlie Kirk was a pretty brave dude. He would not have backed down. He would not have let the president, even the president of the United States, yell at him like that. He would have went straight to his show, and he would have been like, dude, Trump yelled at me. That's what he would have done. Cherokee Chick, thank you so much for joining as a troll member here. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But for real, not a chance Charlie would have let that fly.
Network demanding clarity. And when you read that New York Times article, it makes it seem like Trump just never wanted these files to be released. Was he protecting his donors? Well, obviously he's protecting his donors, but who else is he protecting? What does he know about the Epstein network? What files are they still holding, asserting that the reason is because children are harmed? We're protecting the victims. That's the reason we're withholding this information.
I mean, what, just out of curiosity, what would you do if that was actually the case? Because here's the thing. I don't think the government is necessarily in the business of recording its own dirty actions and then keeping the files. Once we saw the Kennedy files all released, we kind of realized, hey, the government isn't like actually documenting the evil things that they're doing. Because when you actually think about it, that would be stupid. That would be very stupid for the government to document its evil deeds. You know what I mean? If they're going to do an evil deed, I think they're probably not going to document it at all. So I don't think there's really going to be anything in the files anyway. Everything else unredacted probably genuinely isn't going to be anything. It probably really would be some like sensitive information that didn't need to be released. Because again, there is just no way the government documents all of its evil deeds. I mean, unless they're just stupid. I mean, they could be stupid. They could be really stupid and document it. That would be crazy, you know? Maybe the files do exist, right? But I just don't believe it at this point. Because when we saw the JFK files, there was nothing. There was really nothing that was that alarming in them. I don't know. I just feel like they would not record themselves doing a crime.
I don't buy that for 1 second. And this next discovery that I made, that it just seemed like another chef's kiss, if you will.
In normal, you
now,
got
we
that
told
right.
you that we identified
Our IQs are going down a bit.
the
We got to
office
challenge
that organized the now infamous SAM 702 flight. This is our Fort Huachuca plane. It caused the Huachuca panic, the Huachuca Cabra. They couldn't deal with it. They sent the influencers out to destroy Mitch Snow, the plane that flew to Tucson.
No, I don't need to destroy Mitch Snow. I just need proof of what he said. It's really that simple.
Arizona on September 8th, 2 days before Charlie's assassination, landed and hung out in Tucson for about 4 hours before it carried on to the Intel base in Fort Huachuca, Arizona, where it stayed overnight. Now, before it departed for El Paso, Texas, the next morning, mid-morning on the 9th, it leaves for Texas. Now, the person whose office organized that plane is the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence, a man named Bradley Hansel. We told you about him.
Yes, we know.
About how he used to work for the Boston Consulting Group. Mitt Romney and Bibi Netanyahu became best friends over there.
Yep, they even kissed, I heard.
That been a source of interest due to a meeting which Mitch Snow stumbled upon that morning accidentally, and the meeting in which Mitch Snow believes that he saw Brian Harpole. Okay? Maybe he didn't. I was always open to that, but the reaction...
Yeah, but you were a lot more open to it a few months ago. Now you're like, oh, well, maybe he didn't.
That we experienced to Fort Huachuca tells me he saw somebody important. He saw somebody important.
I guess. Is there anybody... I'm sure everybody thinks they're important, Candace. Sure, maybe he saw someone important over at a military base. Holy crap, would that be something, right? I guarantee... Do you think the president has ever gone to a military base before? Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something if the president, the commander-in-chief, went to a military base? That would be something, huh? She's so dumb. It's irritating. Eric for the 5 here. The 5 Bawbucks. I'm going to call him that. New Zealand dollars here. There were reports that under Biden, the Epstein files were destroyed, so I wonder why she didn't ask Hunter about that. Oh, well, she loves Hunter. She loves Hunter. That's why. It could be why they were a hoax. I mean, who knows, to be honest? Who actually knows what's in the files? All I know is what is stopping them from destroying the files anyway? Like, what? What would stop him from destroying them? They already have complete control to where they're not releasing everything. So why not just destroy them? And they could have destroyed them 4 years ago. I mean, Biden had 4 years to have those files released, and we were asking for them then. We were all asking for the files 4 years ago. Nothing. Epstein died just months before Biden took over. So, I don't know. I feel like he probably knew about it. Even demented Joe Biden knew about it. And it's funny how they're like, oh, well, they tried destroying Joe Biden because he wasn't part of the Epstein class. Are you kidding me? He's directly connected to the DuPonts at the hip. Directly connected to the DuPonts at the hip. And she has the audacity to say he wasn't connected to Epstein? That's some cope. That's some serious cope, and she's just a liar. Like, she has no idea what Joe Biden did back in the 70s, does she? She would have really not liked some of the really, really, really racist things Joe Biden said back in the day. But that's the people she's aligning herself with. It's funny.
Also of interest to us is whether or not Bradley Hansel may have stayed the night on the base in the same hotel that Mitch Snow believes that he saw Erica Kirk. He said it was her eyes that were unmistakable. They saw her in that lobby on the 8th, leaving, jumping into a green pickup truck, and her eyes reminded him of an ex-girlfriend's eyes. And that's
yeah, in his freaking dreams. Oh my God. Did Erica Kirk come to him in a dream? I shouldn't say what I'm going to say next. Oh, I can't say that out loud. I was going to say, did he, to her in a dream? But there we go. That's as far as that's going. Anyway, definitely in his dreams, did he have an ex with even those eyes, I would say. If it were Erica Kirk and she was about 400 pounds more, maybe for Mitch Snow there. Maybe. That's being pretty generous, I think.
why he clocked her. He didn't know her, obviously, right when he saw her.
Oh, I believe he would have clocked her. Case in point with him raising a hammer above his head to hit his ex. Yeah, good stuff. You really pick them well, Candace.
Her, but remembered her eyes when he then saw her on stage at the Charlie Kirk Memorial event. Now, of course, we tried to do things the right way, as we always do. We attempted to simply FOIA request these details. We asked Brian Harple for a clear alibi. We've asked Erica for a clear alibi. We don't want to spend time on something that amounts to nothing. There are a lot of, threads that we need to pull, and we don't need to just be, for fun, trying to make a conspiracy. We just can't seem to get any alibis. We got some kids that Andrew Kovats said were Erica's, and then said, okay, no, they're not Erica's, or Paramount Not So Tactical said, no, they're not Erica's. It doesn't matter if they're Erica's. It's been a disaster.
That's not what he said at all. The daughter is her kid. We're all very consistent on that. The daughter in the picture was her kid. The older boy was somebody else. That can happen, Candace. I don't know if you know this, but I have my nieces over here all the time, and I have my friends' kids over here all the time to hang out with my kids. Luckily, all of them are girls, so they all get along super well. So nobody's ever lived, well, except for the 1-year-old, but that's different, He's 1. Doesn't matter. We all have kids that are 5 and 6 and 4 as well. So they all play with each other well. Pretty good stuff. It's great to just watch them have fun and just enjoy the day. And not to mention having a couple beers by the fire with the men. That's the good stuff right there. That's the good stuff. And because they're all girls too, we do get a little lucky in that sense that naturally they gravitate towards their moms, and then it's like guys and fire and beer, So we get to have a good time no matter what. Anyway, good stuff. But at the end of the day, Candace, why is that weird to you that somebody brought their kid over to hang out with their kid? Is that not normal for you? Did you have a rough childhood where you weren't allowed to see kids your age?
Yet we were informed when we filed our FOIA request that we were kind of put in the back of the queue because our request falls
No, you're in a line, Candace. You're not more important than anybody else.
under this heavy burden exception. They need to coordinate.
They never even said burden. They never said burden.
With multiple departments, and we're
Just
number
insert crap all the time.
3,500 to hear back. Okay. Seems like a bit of a workaround.
Oh, the reason why her bottom jaw sticks out like that, she does the... It's the, whatever drug she takes. I forget what it's even called. But, I keep wanting to say methadone. Dang it. It's not it. Oh my gosh. Adderall. That's what she's taking. Pretty sure she's taking Adderall. Don't know why she needs it because she's never on here. So, she's on here for like an hour and that's it. And then she's done for like the day. So, I don't know.
Well, we initially told you that Bradley Hansel reports directly to Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War. But actually,
yeah, that's probably obvious.
We weren't entirely correct. There was one man in between Bradley and Pete Hegseth.
Oh, they form a manwich? Okay, let's hear it.
A man named Steven Feinberg, who occupies the position.
That's a good middleman between a manwich there. I like it. Feinberg.
Of Deputy Secretary of Defense. Now, lock in because this is important. Okay, I'm going to show you a chart of the Department of Defense. Now, I guess they renamed it the Department of War. Kind of appropriate since
we get
all
it,
Trump
Candace.
has been doing is putting us in multiple wars.
Multiple wars? We're not in a war at all right now. We just ended everything with Iran, so what are you smoking?
But here's that chart, and we're just putting faces where it's relevant. So at the top, you have Pete Hegseth, who is the Secretary of Defense. The Deputy Secretary of Defense, meaning if anything happens to Pete Hegseth, this man assumes his position, Steven Feinberg. Okay,
cool.
And then you see that next line of who sits beneath, and it is our man, Sam 702. His office.
I don't know if you know how to read charts or not, Candace, but just because he's down here, that doesn't mean that they all funnel this direction to him. They have direct access to Pete Hegseth too. So you should really pay really close attention. It's or. So not exactly.
Office that called the plane. Don't know who else is on the plane. Bradley Hansel.
Okay, cool.
U.S. Secretary of Defense Intelligence.
Uh-huh. Unless, of course, this middle line is dividing them on purpose, but it seems to me that they're pretty level.
Who is Steven Feinberg, though? Because that's kind of an important thing to know. There's also some rumblings that Pete Hegseth might be fired. If he is fired, this is going to be the number one guy in the Office of War.
Well, we don't know that.
Who is Steven Feinberg? Why did Trump select him? What we can state definitively is that he is the wealthiest person in the Trump administration. I always find it a little weird when you got somebody who's like worth $5 billion like this guy, and they're like, hey, I'd like to be the Undersecretary for War. Really? Why?
He probably got chosen. He probably got chosen like a vice president. Pete Hegseth probably knew the guy and was like, hey, you do good work. Would you be interested in this? And he was probably like, yeah, why not? I don't think it was that complicated.
Why is he so rich, by the way? Well, in 1992, he co-founded Cerberus Capital Management. Now, if you're wondering who Cerberus is, it's Hades' dog. It goes back to Greek mythology, the three-headed dog for Hades, which just makes me laugh because we were just covering Nat Rothschild's boat, which is the 9th planet, Pluto.
So, your point? You know how often Cerberus has been used? Like, I mean, I could name a game right now. Dirge of Cerberus, Vincent Valentine, There's many things with Cerberus involved. Hercules, the movie, TV show, Kingdom Hearts. He's a major summon there, actually, and a bad guy. I don't know. Like, it's not that crazy.
Hades. They love it. They love like the underworld or something. Like, what should we name it? Let's name it Satan. I like Satan. How about Satan? Is that a nice name? And then they're like, yeah, that's a nice name. Let's do it.
Okay.
Anyways,
it wasn't Satan.
Cerberus Capital Management is a fund with 70 billion AUM. That's assets that are under their management. 70 billion.
Ooh,
Steven Feinberg was one half. He's a co-founder. And that's why he was a controversial pick, not just because of his extraordinary wealth, but more specifically due to one particular asset.
You know he was controversial if you just found out he was this rich, by the way. And also, for all you guys that are new here, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out a lot. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Which came under their management portfolio in 2010. DynCorp.
Don't do that.
A major private security company. Now, it is important that you understand what we mean when we say a private security
Seems
company.
familiar.
You've heard this many times. Oh, he owns a
Dynacorp?
private security company.
Dynacorp?
We mean a private military company, a mercenary group, a privately held military that can be contracted to do work on behalf of the armed forces.
Are you talking about like Triple Canopy? Those guys that go over to like the Middle East and they privately guard stuff and they're like military grade, but they're like, they get paid insane amounts of money. Insane amounts of money. Maybe that's where I've seen DynCorp before. I don't know. But this isn't a mercenary group. This is probably actually just security.
Anywhere in the world. So to give you an example, when the United States government wants to sort of keep their hands clean, like when they wanted to, topple Gaddafi in Libya,
I could tell you exactly how they toppled Gaddafi, and she's going to get this wrong. This had nothing to do with a private security group. This had to do everything with the Onion router. That's how they toppled Gaddafi. They used the Onion router. They used Tor. It was one of the big uses of Tor, and then it kind of became public after this. And that's why everybody got obsessed with Tor, and then it became the easiest road to the Silk Road to get your drugs and stuff online, and all that good stuff. So, crazy, crazy, crazy lore from all that.
Go out and find a private military contractor because, well, a private military contractor can do things that the government can't, but the government can pay them to do those things, right?
Okay, like what?
They can, for example, organize deals to sell weapons and arm rebels. And then the United States government is like, we didn't know. We gave them money to do security for us in Libya.
What are you talking about? They fully admitted it. They fully admitted that they helped with the Q. Hillary Clinton's famous words for him. We came, we saw, he died. I don't know why she did it in that order, but she's a freak.
We didn't know they were arming rebels. We had no idea. That's crazy. These mercenaries are usually made up of veterans, former special forces guys all around the world.
It's like Triple Canopy.
Thugs and criminals who are willing to do the dirty work for money. Now, I am going to overstate this.
Yeah, and all this was for Obama and whatnot, but she won't mention that. She won't mention that it was Obama and Hillary because they're her buddies now. And she wouldn't want to, say anything negative about good old Vice President Joe Biden, would she? That would be probably pretty bad for her if I had to guess. I got to put weight on my foot. It's cramping. Yeah.
Because you need to comprehend this. The U.S. military, supported by our tax dollars,
there we go,
can then go and contract
private company? No.
A private military company to do things that they don't necessarily want to have on the books. We finance, in effect, plausible deniability, right?
Yeah.
Now, one name
Prove
in
our
this
tax
space,
dollars were involved.
one company in this private military space that you're probably familiar with is Blackwater. A lot of people have heard of Blackwater.
Yeah,
and
Blackwater's
I'm using them as
private
an example
company
so that you
too.
can understand how lucrative this business of private military security is. Blackwater in total received $2 billion in government contracts between 1997 and 2010. Really up until a terrible massacre took place in Iraq, which landed 4 of their men in prison. They killed 17 Iraqi civilians and injured 14 Iraqi civilians and injured 20 others while escorting a U.S. embassy convoy.
This kind of seems familiar. This took place in 2007. I would have been in, what grade would I have been in? I would have been 15 years old, so I guess I would have been in 10th grade at the time. I think we touched on this maybe in current events.
Again, we just asked them to escort us. They killed 14 civilians. Like I said, 4 men were convicted, 1 of murder, 3 others of manslaughter charges. But no worries, because when Trump got into office the first time around, he pardoned all of them. Very controversial, but all of them got pardoned, so they're free.
I have no idea. I don't know what was going on with that. Maybe there was another situation involved. Why did they shoot those 14 civilians? Was there actually, could there have been reason? Let's find out. Why did Blackwater guards kill 14 Iraqis in 2007? Let's see. Is there any context she's leaving out? I'm going to be irritated if she is. If not, this is a suspicious thing. Okay. Thank you, Grok. Thank you, Chit. Oh, man. Okay, Grok, let's give it another try here. Give it a third time. Okay, Grok, you are useless. I'm gonna have to ask ChatGPT or something, probably. Absolutely useless. This happens a lot with Grok. Dude, what is going on? What is going on with Grok here? Maybe I should say, shoot. Will that change it? Is it going through some weird censorship thing? Or is it just broken? Yeah, I think it just broke it. Okay. ChatGPT. We'll just go here. Bam. Up. Popping this garbage up. No, I'm not signing. No, I am not signing. Okay. Up yours. Go into AI mode. You suck. They opened fire without provocation and falsely claimed they were responding to an ambush. Okay. Let's see. Spark of the shooting. A moving vehicle. The convoy entered a busy traffic circle in Baghdad to secure a route for a U.S. diplomat. Unprovoked fire. A small Kia sedan driven by a medical student had his mother failed to stop immediately as traffic slowed. Okay. Escalation. Blackwater sniper Nicholas Slayton fired the initial shots, killing the driver. The other guards launched a massive barrage of machine gun fire and grenade launchers into the crowd square. Oh my God. They're just like, it is a literal Team America situation where someone sneezes and then they just all start firing. Bazookas are going off. This is actually a real life thing. Oh my God. These guys should probably be in prison for this. But in all fairness, it probably was this U.S. diplomat that had them do that. If I had to guess. If I had to guess, it was probably a higher up guy or guard or something like that that didn't get in trouble at the time. And they ended up throwing these guys under the bus. So I don't know. Maybe these 4 people did deserve to be out of prison. You know what I mean? Maybe they don't deserve to be there. Maybe it wasn't actually their fault. Maybe it was, I don't know. It could have been a situation where somebody higher up made them do that. And they didn't necessarily want to. Who knows, really?
Kind of makes sense if you know in the background that in the first administration, he selected Betsy DeVoe as his Secretary of Education.
Boy, okay.
And Betsy DeVoe's brother is a man named Eric Prince, who is the...
I don't know why she looks like she would... She looks like that lady looked like she would judge me through the picture. Holy crap, do I need to cut my hair? Who's this guy?
Founder of Blackwater. So
okay.
It's all a little inside baseball going on there.
I guess.
Anyway, I'm overstating that so that you understand
probably.
why Steven Feinberg outright owning a military mercenary group from 2000.
There's like 1,000, like Triple Canopy, like I said, is one of them as well. Like, good Lord, like there's a lot of private securities that goes overseas.
10 through to 2020, he joined Trump administration in 2017, the first go around. You can see why it was in fact controversial, because there's no way that's not going to shape foreign policy. There's no way that's not going to be some wheeling and dealing behind the scenes to influence to make sure that your investments are protected. DynCorp itself, however, right, who they fully owned it, is particularly controversial. Controversial enough to have had an entire movie made based off of their incredibly scandalous history.
Is it going to be Team America? Oh my gosh, if it's Team America, I'm going to be so happy.
Now I'll ask you guys, just for funsies, what do you think DynCorp employees were caught doing that was scandalous? And where? What and where? I'll ask you guys. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of a time frame. The scandal began to take shape in the 1990s until the whistle was finally blown in the early 2000s. Movie made in 2010. What do you guys think?
2010, it's Team America. It's straight up Team America. Called it. Oh, I am so good at this, guys. I didn't even know that. Oh, dang it. Okay. I got the year, everything. You got to be kidding me. The whistleblower. That's what it is. No way. I celebrated too early. I thought I got Team America. Team America was 2010, right? America release date. What should be 2007? Was it 2000? No, it was 2004. What am I, insane? Dang. Well, it was before that happened. So these guys watched. Okay, so the new scenario. These Blackwater guys saw Team America, and they were like, you know what? We need a little bit of this. And so they started blasting the crowd with bazookas. Like, isn't that the craziest thing? You know, media's always made first. You notice that? You know how the Titanic, how it broke and did all that stuff? You know, there was a book 2 years before that called The Unsinkable Ship. Kind of weird, right? Well, Team America took place 2 years before they shot up this place. Or 3 years? 2 years or 3 years? Was it in 2007? Yeah, 2007. So, yeah, 3 years before. Team America was 3 years before they did this incredibly Team America-esque, you know, like someone sneezes, then they're just blowing the place up, you know? Crazy stuff. Oh, well, the whistleblower. Let's hear it. Let me guess. Erica Franzwey starred in this movie somehow.
If you guessed that the region that it took place was in Eastern Europe, please give yourself a pat on the back. And if you also guessed that they were caught, I don't know, Candace, human sex trafficking, plus accused of forced child prostitution and...
Yes, it's a movie. They probably added that stuff in there. You know what I mean? I don't know that Hollywood would have had direct knowledge of if they were trafficking or not, unless that's in the report too.
Rape, then you've probably just been paying attention to the various connecting themes on our chart that I can't get over. Yes, that is what happened. Catherine Bolkovac, a DynCorp investigator in Bosnia, discovered that several DynCorp employees were involved in purchasing underage women and facilitating sex trafficking. Another employee...
Okay, so yeah, then they did have that knowledge. Okay. Why did you have to bring the movie involved in this? Why not just say that fact from the beginning? Oh, the book had been altered after the Titanic sank? I actually didn't know that. I'll have to look into that.
Ben Johnston filed similar reports. Both were then fired by the company, which has a base in Virginia, in Texas. She was trained in Texas, in Dallas-Fort Worth area. Mm-hmm. And when they exposed the abuses, they got fired. That's weird. She didn't let it go. Fortunately, she took a duffel bag, saved the paperwork, really risked her life. Could you imagine trying to get this information out when there's a mercenary group hunting you? And I want to be clear because
Okay. Candace, we're going to get one thing for sure clear. Okay, we're going to go back. Where am I at right now? Oh, okay. I'll have to try and find that position. No way this lady is running. Okay. You can see that belly there. No offense to her or anything like that. But this isn't Jason Bourne. She ain't running around and hiding from a mercenary group and not getting caught. Okay, no offense to her, again. But she's not exactly what I would say even peak fitness for an agent, let alone she's going to she's going to evade an entire mercenary group, apparently. Like I said, I'm not trying to be mean to her or anything like that. But why do you got to butter it up like that? You don't have to fluff the story any more than what it is. The story's already pretty insane. Just tell the story. You don't have to add things to it.
Downloaded her book over this past weekend and was speed reading through it. That the traffic...
Did she say audiobook and she's speed reading this? Hold on.
I downloaded her book over this past weekend.
Okay, downloaded her book. Never mind. That's my bad.
And was speed reading through it.
Okay.
That the trafficked underage women
Fair enough.
were coming from Ukraine, Croatia, Bosnia, and of course, Romania. Romania was a big feature of where these trafficked women were coming from.
Yeah.
Well, how did it work? I told you guys this yesterday. You have to comprehend how it works. First, find a region that's been torn up by war, because anything goes.
Okay, Candace. I don't know why you need to know this. I don't know why you can't think for yourself. Yes, there is a lot of... Oh. What the heck just happened? That was...
To give you an example, when the United States government wants to sort of keep their hands clean...
Hold on.
First, capital management. Now, if you laugh, the UN, it's important that you... And I'm using them as...
Okay.
Anywhere in the world. So to give you an example, when the United States government wants to sort of keep their hands clean, like when they want...
Okay.
They probably want
Let
to have
me
on the
find
books...
lady in the
vacation.
shirt. Okay. My bad. I don't know how that happened.
In Texas, she was trained in Texas in Dallas-Fort Worth area. Okay. Speed reading. Well, how did it work? I told you guys this yesterday. You have to comprehend how it works. First, Find a region that's been torn
Sorry,
up
guys.
by war, because anything goes, right? I don't care if it, or hey, maybe it can.
Anyway, my whole point. We know these war-torn areas exist. We know the trafficking is happening. Sometimes people go there to help stop the trafficking because anything goes in those towns and those cities and in those states, in those countries. Anything goes. And when they don't have a proper government set up and they have a high crime problem after the wars, well, you try to get some help in there. Try to get some help and get people into homes and houses, get them out of that, situation. Sometimes it does come from our side too. There are bad guys everywhere, Candace. But that doesn't mean that everybody that went over there doing the missionary work, stuff like that, were bad guys.
It can be a hurricane, like Haiti. Be a hurricane. Find a area that has disasters and then say, we're America and we want to help. At first, you have to send the quote unquote peace officers. This time, that's what they sent from the United Nations. And as I told you, they send those charitable people first, and they're really just kind of scouting. And in this case, it was the International Police Task Force. That was an arm of the United Nations Civilian Police Force. They were created
Not United States, though, right? United Nations. Okay.
by NATO because the war in Bosnia ended.
Yep.
And Bill Clinton was president, and the peace accords were signed in Ohio,
What that
Dayton,
means,
Ohio, or created in Dayton, Ohio. I think signed in Paris. And then
wasn't even for Bill Clinton either. It was Hillary.
they said, okay, well,
So
obviously, every time America's here, NATO, we're the good guys. It's peace. And they installed the International Police Task Force because who could question the UN? Except they were exactly the ones who were charged with trafficking the children, covering it up, the United Nations, DynCorp, forcing them into prostitution. I mean, the way that they did it, too, like knowing that these impoverished young women would want a job, offering them like roles as a beautician, and then taking their passports and forcing them into prostitution over the border. Unbelievable. NATO is so corrupt. It is just so shocking to me.
Yeah, it's a good thing Trump's holding NATO's feet to the fire now, huh? Wouldn't you like a president who didn't think NATO was king and instead was like, nah, United States is king and NATO, you're going to listen to us? Because Biden did nothing but capitulate to NATO. Obama did nothing but capitulate to NATO. And Trump is so hard on NATO and done with their corruption. You don't seem to give him any credit for that, do you?
That they still pretend to be the good guys after they get caught doing stuff like this over and over again. It is exactly as I told you. Everything evil seems to be disguised as charity and peace and faith these days. Is it me? Right? It's biblical.
I mean, you're the only one that has a problem with the Bible and, Bible verses and religion and whatnot. That's a Catholic, I should say. You're like the only Catholic I've ever seen that has a problem with Christianity. It's kind of weird.
It's peace. I'm on a biblical mission just in this region where there just happens to be so many kids that are going missing.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to prevent that from happening. It's kind of like their business motto, but okay.
Anyway, DynCorp got caught. This woman, like I said, risked her life, and she took the documents and she proved what was going on. She revealed to the world that our own government and military was involved in this. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
But it depends, too. Were they getting directive or were they just getting money?
Yet despite reporting that the officers were indeed at DynCorp trafficking, prostituting, and raping the victims, they got to enjoy immunity.
Okay, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad, yeah.
One of the rules that we set up. It's like, hey, our military is going to come help, but we need to establish a couple of rules. And one of them is that no matter what our guys do, we get immunity. That's how it works. Military contractors don't have to suffer any prosecution in foreign territories. So in the end,
Let me see. Files. DynCorp International was a major American private military and aviation services contractor that is now a wholly owned subsidiary of Amentum. Okay. States file suit against DynCorp. Wait, the United States filed a suit? Why would they do that? The United States filed a False Claims Act complaint against DynCorp International, Inc. DynCorp alleging that it knowingly submitted inflated claims in the connection with the State Department contract to train Iraqi police forces, CivPol contract, the Department of Justice announced today. Oh, so they sued them. Sounds like they were super immune. Okay. Did the United States give immunity to those who committed those awful acts working for DynCorp. Let's see. Let's see what this says. Let's see if Grok picks up on what I'm putting down. Then I'm going to see if they have a link to any of the evidence here. Yeah, 365,000 kids went missing when Biden opened up the border. Oh, yeah. No, the United States did not formally grant immunity to DynCorp employees involved in the trafficking and related crimes in Bosnia. The primary incident in question is the well-documented scandal involving DynCorp contractors working under a United States Department contract to support the UN's International Policy Task Force in post-war Bosnia. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, some employees were accused of bullying, doing awful things, and very, very awful things to exploiting trafficked women and girls, including minors from Eastern Europe. What actually happened? Whistleblower Catherine Bolkovac, a DynCorp hired police monitor. She was a hall monitor for the police. That's great. And Ben Johnson, a DynCorp aircraft mechanic. See, now that's a cooler title, I guess. Reported widespread involvement by some DynCorp personnel in trafficking, all this other stuff. The United States Army Criminal Investigation Division investigated and substantiated some allegations. Well, it sounds like they substantiated them. That's interesting. DynCorp fired or repatriated a number of employees. Reports cite at least 13 sent home with 7 fired. Bolkovac won an unfair dismissal lawsuit against DynCorp in the UK. Okay, there you go. Johnson settled a lawsuit against the company in the US. Both cases highlight retaliation against whistleblowers. Okay. On immunity and prosecution, no credible evidence shows the U.S. government issued special immunity, diplomatic-style prosecution to shield perpetrators. Instead, jurisdictional gaps prevented under prosecutions. Under the 1995 Dayton Peace Accords, NATO personnel received privileges and immunities, creating ambiguity. So it was NATO that granted the immunity, not the United States. Did she say that? Did she clarify that? That's what I need to know, because I don't want to be unfair to Candace here. But if she claimed that the United States was giving immunity, let's see where that was.
We get immunity. One of the rules that we set up, it's like, indeed, in dollar industry. Yet despite reporting that the officers were indeed at DynCorp trafficking, prostituting, and raping the victims, they got to enjoy immunity. That's one of the rules that we set up. It's like, hey, our military is going to come help.
So what do you mean by we set up? We as in NATO? Or we as in America?
We need to establish a couple of rules, and one of them is that no matter what our guys do, we get immunity. That's how it works. Military contractors don't have to suffer any prosecution in foreign.
Military contractors don't have to suffer prosecution in foreign countries, but are you saying with the United States or under NATO? That's something you need to really clarify.
Territories. So in the end, DynCorp got off scot-free and just continued their relationship with the United States government.
Okay. And she says the United States government. Here we go. Why does it make the loud noise now? I hate it a lot. To clarify that United States not give DynCorp immunity. There we go. Anyway, she'll never see that.
Now, when her movie about the scandal came out in 2010, DynCorp sold to Steven Feinberg's Cerberus. It was owned by Cerberus for the next 10 years. And so what are we to make
someone
about
wrote the script
this?
for her?
How are we to take this information? How is it possible that everybody's homies is doing charity or getting caught in human trafficking allegations.
Well, I think it probably is something along the lines of the bad people are involved with the trafficking and the good people are involved with trying to prevent the trafficking. If you probably look at it that way with your little hands, they're going like that, the way they're doing, just kind of on one hand, on the other, So, look like a lizard lady. Anyway, stop doing that.
It can't be a thing.
Oh, you're going to keep doing it.
It just can't
Anyway,
be a thing.
On one
I don't
hand,
see
good.
Trump as
On the other hand, bad. Okay? Are we good here with that?
the good guy in this. I believe the New York Times article was very well sourced, and I believe that one of their obvious sources.
Okay. You said it was very well sourced last time when Charlie Kirk got yelled at by Trump, and then there were zero sources. So am I to believe that the New York Times being very well sourced was also with how many people could they actually list? I'm curious.
To me, as I read the article, it seemed like it was Dan Bongino. They tried to make him look like the good guy who really wanted the Epstein files to get out and sacrificed his podcast and would have been privy to these discussions.
Yeah, he did.
I'm sure they had many people that were leaking to them, but Dan Bongino seems to be an obvious one to me when I read the article.
Oh, okay. So you're saying he's the mole and now you're going to blow his cover? That's not nice. Why would you do that?
This was their panic, figuring out how to dupe the people and try to blame Democrats or blame the SDNY for why they couldn't get the files out. All of this scheming and planning. Why? To protect who? To protect people that are in your own administration, their corporations,
Or it could be the kids that they're also saying too. It's a possibility. Because, again, if the files don't actually exist and the government didn't actually record themselves doing evil things, which, again, would be a stupid thing to do, it's a good possibility that could be taking place as well. Maybe they are covering up for someone too. I have no idea. Not like I've seen the files. So I'm not going to just assume one way or the other. But anyway, if you guys are new here, please hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you, guys.
Financial interests. I know since Steven Feinberg has said that he has divested from Cerberus Capital, but that kind of always just means like it's on hold and he still does have financial ties to them, which are unclear. What are we doing with the mercenary group? Why do we have any ties to them? Was he reporting to him? Can we FOIA his emails perhaps during those days? Who else was on this plane with Bradley Hansel? Why does it seem like we can't get anything that we FOIA? They just keep saying that it's like falls under the category of an undue burden.
They didn't say that.
I don't buy any of this. I think
they just said it would take longer than 20 days to get your request. That's all they told you.
The Trump administration is up to it. And from what I am told, they are trying to make it more difficult for people to FOIA requests, to be able to hold these documents as classified for a period of time. It is an unnatural relationship to me that is unfolding.
To me. It's all about me.
Unfolding between the Trump administration and Turning Point USA. That doesn't feel like it's for Charlie, as they always say. It's for Charlie. No, not at all.
I don't know that. You have no idea.
It seems like
she's so bitter. Look at that. She's so mad.
Like, because secrets can sometimes make strange bedfellows. That's how it is being received by the public.
You don't like secrets being kept from you. This is not good. Man, she's an angry lady.
It'd be pretty simple to slam dunk me on some of these points. Okay. It feels like a pretty easy one for Turning Point to come out and say, Erica has no idea what next model management is and has never been there.
Yeah. Now you should provide proof.
They're always around to debunk Project Constitution on things online. But when I say these things, which deeply matter and should matter.
Well, Project Constitution posts a lot of fake stuff like he did today. He ended up saying that these girls were creeped out. Look at this. Look at this guy. Look at this freak. Okay. Right here. Shocking. Erica Kirk caught doing weird stuff with underage girls again. They got to meet Erica Kirk. They waited in line to meet Erica Kirk, got pictures with her, and then cried afterwards. So this is what he shows.
One arm, she just grabs me.
Wow.
Excuse me, I was so shocked that I had one arm wrapped around. She had both arms wrapped around me so tight, squeezing so tight. She just grabs me, gives me. I was so shocked that I had one arm wrapped around. She had both arms wrapped around me so tight, squeezing so tight. I'm genuinely like just start crying. I just start crying.
I start crying. My whole body is shaking. She's grasping me.
She equals Erica.
So hard because my whole body
is shaking.
And what did they say about it, actually? Let's get to what they actually said about it. Where's the... So they're coming through here. I think they talk about it right, somewhere in here.
Left and right.
Mind you, Kylie threw her water bottle at Erica's security guard. So.
On accident. Anyway. So, I remember there was this guy who's like very young, and I guess Charlie was like his mentor, and his speech was honestly like one of the best of the night. And I remembered that, and I saw him, and this is when like Erica was taking we finessed this.
Hey Jennifer, tell your son happy birthday, or show him happy birthday. glad to see you celebrating a good birthday there. I don't know what else to say actually about that. Of course you'd be celebrating his birthday on his birthday. That'd be, duh. I don't know what's wrong with me today. We'll continue with this here.
Like, on another level. And so, I was like, excuse me, like, did you speak at, Charlie's memorial? Like, I was there, and I think...
Oh, okay, so this was after the memorial, I think. Okay.
I, like, remember you. And
obviously,
and I was like,
was
I really
after.
loved, like, your speech.
I didn't know
like,
the timeline.
Moving, and like you're so young and your words were so like impactful, something like that. And then he was like, really, like, I'm glad, like, I really just threw it together like really fast. Anyway, the photo was ending, and then he was like, wait, what are like your guys' names? And then we said our names at the exact same time, and then he was like, wait, one at a time. And then he was like Danica and Kylie, and I was like, yeah. So he was like, Erica, like, they want to take a photo with you.
So he was like, this is Danica and Kylie. Immediately, we just like look at each other, and she just grabs me and gives me. I was so shocked that like I had one arm wrapped around. She had both arms wrapped around me so tight, squeezing so tight. She just grabs me and gives me. I was so shocked that like I had one arm wrapped around. She had both arms wrapped around me so tight, squeezing so tight, like such like a genuine like hug, like. It was so, like, it was, like, a very amazing hug. And she
Oh, it was a very amazing hug. Notice how when you let the video play out for longer, all of a sudden, the actual truth comes out. Kind of funny how that works, huh? All that editing Project Constitution did, and he forgot to get rid of the parts that made Erica actually, seem normal here, right? Hilarious how that worked out.
She, like, hugs me, and then I, like, pull my face away, and I notice, like, a big spot of my makeup on her shirt. It's her photo. So I felt really bad, but like I was like, oh my god, like I'm going to start crying. I was like kind of like freaking out, but I didn't say that yet. I was like just kind of freaking out. Like we were shaking, like shaking.
My whole body was shaking. Even people were like, oh my god, like she's shaking, and then I'm like, stop, because I could tears coming down my eyes.
So then she gives Kylie a hug. We take a picture. Insert photo.
Insert photos, like
all of.
Yep. He should have blurred the smiles off of him. That would have made his case a little bit better, right?
The photos are just gonna be displaying while we're talking.
Yeah. So we both have like plastic water bottles. Oh yeah. I didn't want it to be in my photo.
She throws it at her security guard.
Throws it. I did not know it was just like I meant to like drop it.
And where she threw it.
And I threw it. And Erica was like, oh. Sorry, I didn't mean to touch your security guard. And then my purse was falling down, so I was like, oh, this is my purse. And then we took the photo, and
then Kylie was like, oh, can you sign our shirts?
Yeah, and I was like polite.
Wait, no. Before we even took the picture, she's like, I love your shirts. They're so cute. She was like, your shirts are so cute.
I mean, this is crazy. They really enjoyed Erica Kirk. And Project Constipation here is just crapping all over him. He is a jealous, obese, absolute awful person. What a jerk, What a jerk to drag these girls into this. Like, it's disgusting, to be honest. Genuinely disgusting. But don't worry, I got a favor to ask all you people. We're gonna help these girls out, because it's gonna be some fun here. Okay, we're gonna have some good times.
Your shirts are so cute.
So cute. And I was like, oh my god, look. And she's like, oh, I love it. Like, they're so cute.
Because, like, the angel wings are And So like after we took the picture, we're like, oh, can you sign our shirts? Like we were just probably gonna do it like right here. And we're
So I'll
like,
fast forward this a little.
that. Just like saying their
Whole body is I
Where do they, here it is.
Oh my god.
And then I called my mom.
Oh.
She was like,
after we wrapped up.
After meeting Erica. Oh my god.
and then I called my
Yeah, they were, oh my God, we just got to meet Erica Kirk. Okay. So he does this. Check this out. He goes on a long tirade about this, and he never mentions once that they were, like, excited. He says things like here, like, where was it? Erica then signed both their shirts, kept complimenting them, and told them how cute their shirts were. The girls were visibly overwhelmed and emotional afterward. One of them called her mom crying right after, making it seem like that they were actually hating the experience, because he says these girls described Erica immediately grabbing both of them and pulling them into an extremely tight, long bear hug with both arms. One of the girls said that she was so shocked she started crying, and her whole body was shaking while Erica just kept squeezing her. She said it felt intense. In my opinion, way too intense for someone she'd never met before. That's what this freak is writing. And then you watch the video. That's why I had y'all watch the full video. I know it was a little long, but you got the whole flavor of the video as to what they actually felt versus what he's throwing down here. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that this dude just decided to lie, post the actual full video, which is insane. But it gets even worse. Check this out. So, by the way, yes, I know I always share the actual link and credit the source of the videos I post. However, since these two girls are minors, I don't feel right about directing people to their channel. Yeah, you're such a piece of garbage, dude, because check this out. We're actually going to...
Hey guys, it's Kylie. And welcome to our
Okay. We're actually going to. And yes, their faces aren't blurred or anything like that, but they put their, information out there and whatever. Or not their information, but they put themselves out there. It's fine. You know what? People should. And now it's up from, it was like 700 views earlier. It's now at 900. And, they gave me a like for that. Cool. That's awesome. Very nice of those girls. But anyway, we're going to do a favor, right? We're going to go to their channel. And I'm going to pin this message right here. You guys go give them some subscriptions there. I think they'd like to go up from 17 subscribers to a much higher count, I hope they do good things. I hope they find something that they're really, really good at reporting on here on this channel. Talking about, like, whatever it is they want to talk about. I hope it does well. I hope it does really well for them. Because, they just seem like nice girls. They seem genuinely nice. They seem to really enjoy their time with Erica Kirk. So I'm guessing that they're probably going to go into that vein of things. They could start a little talk show with each other and grow it up into maybe a political commentary or maybe something religious, or maybe they're just music focused or something like that. I have no idea. Maybe they do purse reviews. What do women do? Do they just review purses with each other all day? Is that why they get together? They have their nice purse on their side, and then when the men leave the room, they're like, so this is Italian leather. You can see that there's no marks on it because they banned all the barbed wire over there in Italy. Sorry, I can't help myself. I don't know what you chicks do whenever you're in a room alone. It's a total mystery. You know what I mean? It's like the whole thing of, like, I wonder what the women have going on in the women's bathroom. They probably have, like, a disco ball and, like, furniture everywhere, and it's probably, like, 1,000 times larger than the men's or something like that. And the men's is just like a dingy little closet that it's like, yeah, you can either hit this toilet here, or if you want to have an extra bonus point, there's a hole in the tile. If you aim right, you know what I mean? You get $10 out of this other hole. Just, be careful when you reach your hand in. That's the men's restroom for you. All the rumors are true, ladies. We have awful bathrooms.
Everyone's quiet. What about the email? Erica being listed as an emotional asset at the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting. Who recorded that? Why can't they
show us the email, Candace? I'm so sick of this. Show us the email. Prove it exists.
Give us that information. Since it was so natural
ridiculous.
and it organically came out, despite the fact that I am saying no, the Department of War.
You know what? You may have a point there, Rhonda. Their parents may be able to sue Project Constitution for doing something like that. I don't know all the laws around that, so I don't know. That'd be up to their parents, though. If their parents see this, maybe just consult a lawyer. See what happens from that. They might. Don't get scammed by a crappy lawyer, though, that tells you can get it done and you can't.
The department that Bradley Hansel and Steven Feinberg and Pete Hegseth sit at the top of were orchestrating
Yeah,
messages.
click the link pinned in the comment section to go subscribe to their channel. Go give them just a quick subscribe and, come right on back. And then later on, check out their videos too. They probably have good stuff. I have no idea.
To artificially
I'm going to check later.
boost Erica. They wanted her as the #1 trend by morning. That was a focus of the Department of War.
No, it wasn't. Prove it. Prove it.
Somebody make that make sense to me.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
I don't think it's just Charlie who's living in a Truman Show. I think we're all living in a Truman Show, and our government is involved in the most despicable crimes overseas. The most despicable crimes imaginable overseas. And they get people who are despicable enough to join them as they try to represent it to the American people as something faith-based, loved-based, #4Charlie-based.
Getting that neck pop in there. Stop doing that. That's distracting. Yeah, no, prove it.
Helping out orphans. But by the way, I
prove
forgot
they're
to tell
doing
you
bad
guys,
things.
there's another person in the Turning Point family that's involved in the ministry of orphans. How could we forget Mikey McCoy's wife, Elizabeth Kravchuk? Very wealthy Ukrainian. I believe she was born in Ukraine, by the way. Family claims that they escaped the Bolsheviks. LOL. Every time we tell you that we escaped the Bolsheviks, but now we're millionaires by the time we got here. LOL to anyone who buys that story. I actually hear that when she goes to Ukraine, there are SUVs waiting.
She was going to spell F-U-C-K. Did you hear that?
Story. I actually hear that when she goes to Ukraine, there are SUVs.
How did that slip out? I bet she says that like in front of her kids or something like that. Maybe she censors herself. That's very funny. Just straight up almost spelled it right there on that. It's the easy things that get me to laugh. I don't care who it comes from. That was funny.
Bees waiting to escort her family. Ukraine is a laundromat. Okay. Nothing good comes out of Ukraine. It just doesn't. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Irina Zarutska did, but you don't seem to be very outraged about what happened there.
But yes, her family's ministry is rescuing orphans in Ukraine. I forgot to tell you guys that. Everyone's doing it. Everyone's doing it. Here is their website, the Good Call Ministries Rescue Operations.
Yeah, that's, let's just demonize. Is that what she's doing? Is she that evil of a person that she's going to demonize all the actual, like, rescues? And so we just stop sending rescues for these people getting trafficked?
Refugees, elderlies, orphans.
I know a guy that lives in let me at N T V crap, where V, why is is it just V? Is he okay, not V. Yo. You seen everything Candace Owens has been saying about in Mania. Let me actually, before I say that, let me just make sure that, like, he's never said anything about it. Because maybe he has been saying something about it. Let's see. He's a pretty popular YouTuber, so okay. Latest. Oh. Okay, what about this? What is this right here? I don't think there's any conspiracy. Oh, he commented. Have the father of your children murdered in cold blood. Have Candace imply you invoked or consented. Have your organization constantly under attack. Have Candace fans harassing you. Stop smiling when Candace is mentioned. Yes, yes, clearly she's a racist woman with no other explanation. It could be found. That's pretty good. That's pretty funny. That racist got mad because a black woman was mentioned. That's what they're trying to say. Zvi seems to be on her side. I haven't seen him mention anything about Romania. He lives in Romania. So he's actually a doctor in Romania. What are your thoughts? I wonder what he'll say. I'll keep an eye out for a response on this And we'll see if he says anything. Because that's interesting to me. If he's like, hey, I obviously live here. This is garbage what she's spreading. I'm going to trust him over Candace anytime, any day.
Handicap, that is where their hearts are heavy. Specifically
Hey,
orphans. I
Nikki,
like
I'm
that.
sorry to hear you're in the
Helping
hospital
Ukraine
right
relief.
now.
Our hearts are
I
heavy.
hope
for people of
everything's
Ukraine,
okay.
Specifically the orphans. I am sure it is specific, and it is, well, who could question the Bible? People, they know Bible verses, so no, we shouldn't ask any more questions. There's so many pastors. Everyone's a pastor. I think her
And she really has
father or
to.
her
She really has to bring up the Bible every single time, huh? And how the Bible verses are bad.
grandfather's
Wow.
a pastor, so there's nothing left to say.
You really don't like that.
Anyway, I really loved this comment from our show yesterday because it so perfectly sums up how odd all this is. This comment came from YouTube user Gnome2024. He writes, "My wife is from Ukraine. And we cannot
This is definitely a serious person.
even count 1% out of 100 that we know that are involved in helping kids in Ukraine. You're doing it wrong."
Okay. So your own people aren't helping anybody in Ukraine, so he doesn't know anyone. That we have to bring over people to help him because his own people won't help kids. There we go.
Like I said, there is nothing good that comes, well, not like people out of Ukraine, but that comes out of Ukraine when it deals with
Are you finally glad you made that correction?
our politicians. Everything that they have their hands in is corrupt. It has been the West's laundromat
Yeah.
for a very
I mean, Ukraine's been pretty corrupt for a long time. There's probably a good reason why we have charities over there helping out victims.
long
Putting
time.
it out there.
And least of all, the people that come here with tons of money from that region. We'll be right back after a brief break. All right, where my found two camo stories provide love, no doubt. Feel okay with this? Life, again, because ship,
Oh,
phone
what was that one?
service, it is when to start saving.
There we go.
I honestly just can't get over just like how in our face it is sometimes with the way that they choose a name. Like, I'm going to name my yacht, I'm going to name it Pluto. Another name for Haiti.
Yeah, could have been named after the stupid dog that Mickey Mouse had, right? Definitely couldn't have been that either. Oh, everybody, or whatever he does the voice. I can't even do the voice. But yeah, no, Pluto. Like, could have been that. Could be God of Underworld. Could be the planet too. I mean, who knows?
Beast. I'm going to name my company Cerberus, the three-headed dog that guards the underworld. Then all of a sudden we look.
Yeah, one of the coolest like bad guys in almost every single video game. There's like Cerberus is probably a bad guy in I think almost every single video game out there. It's a bad guy in Kingdom Hearts, obviously, and in Hercules because they're kind of the same, or they're pretty much the same thing. But then you have like Cerberus is a summon in Final Fantasy. That's what I was thinking of. You have you fight Cerberus too in Final Fantasy. I think you fight him in Final Fantasy VIII. You also have him in Dante's. No, Dante's a character in the game, not Dante's. It's Devil May Cry. He's also in what other video games? A lot of them. I mean, it's in every single Final Fantasy, so that's like 17 of them already. Oh yeah, he's also a bad guy in World of Warcraft. Pretty sure he's probably a bad guy in Final Fantasy 14 online as well. So that's I mean, it's in the same vein, but you get what I'm saying. Like, people like Cerberus.
Up and we're like everything.
Not that crazy.
And they gaslight us. Like, no, it's just a name. Just wanted to name it Beelzebub, and nothing we're doing here is wrong. Whoops.
Okay, well, that's not the same thing, Candace. That's not the same thing at all.
Sorry, just got caught in a massive human trafficking scandal. This organization. No.
Yeah, they did. NATO didn't allow them to get. NATO allowed them immunity. Dark Souls as well. Yeah,
the
good.
The entire
good,
thing is crazy. I could have done an entire series, by the way, on the various scandals that DynCorp is involved in. I don't believe that Trump is surrounded by all of these people and he's just like a victim of it. There's just something not right about the timing.
Yeah, it is funny. You'd bring up a good point, though, little Rebel Yell. How many scandals has the Catholic Church been caught in when it comes to trafficking, especially like little boys? And yet, Candace never mentions that. Like, I'm not going to sit there and condemn, like, Catholicism, but the Catholic Church in general, it is well documented. A lot of people have gone to jail as well for all that stuff. So it's like, none of that's important, is it, you know? Resident Evil has been on point. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that I haven't played any of the new ones. I think the last Devil May Cry I played was 4, and that was it. Man, when did that come out? Very cool games. Absolutely love it. My wife got me a Devil May Cry 1 shirt. My favorite one out of all of them is 3. 3 is so good. Very, very good stuff. If you guys don't know about the game, it's essentially 2 human people guys are I guess their mom sold her soul to Satan, and then he had these 2 boys, but these 2 boys, since they're half human, were pure good, and then they end up, well, not the other one. His brother was evil. So Dante's the only good one. And until they get to 3, then Virgil becomes a good guy. But they have to defeat their dad, Satan. And that's kind of the whole thing. It's like the, guys born of evil that turn good and in the evil kind of story. So, anyway, not anything crazy, Candace. Sometimes people just make fun stories.
Of the Epstein files, Trump's
And,
response to the
companies.
Epstein files, the speed at which Charlie was suddenly dead, a lot going on, a lot being exposed. Anyway, I do want to switch gears here because sometimes I just see a story in pop culture that just
Oh, great.
really
That's
gets
not
my
just
gears
switching
going.
gears.
And
That's
this
off
time,
topic.
my former executive
Let's see
producer
it.
sends me this article about, and it's so on point, by the way, because right now we're doing my book, which is Make Him a
Right.
Sandwich, right? Where I tackle feminism. And in many ways, we're always presented with 2 options. Like these are your 2 options of
Only
feminism, right? You can
Here we
be
go.
this or you can be that. And I can
Yep.
say the same thing about politics. You can be a Democrat or you can be a Republican. And I don't really feel like any of those 2 are actually the answers, that there's any separation. And with feminism, one of the things that made me want to write the book was seeing the rise of women who were proud to be hoes. Like this was something that just sort of, I was going, where are we going with this?
Yeah.
How is this going to be beneficial in the end?
agree.
It just became so extreme where we were being told that like taking off your top, walking down the street naked, talking about how many men you sleep with was supposed to be empowering. I cannot think of a more degrading article
What
that
are we
I have
getting at?
read in recent years than the one that was recently published by Emily Ratajkowski, who I wrote about in my book as one of these emblems of modern feminism.
Is she related to Luke? Wouldn't that be something?
The one that she just published for The Cut. And so I just need you guys, we actually couldn't take much out of this
Right.
article.
Yep, that's weird. I'm not dealing with this. Also, this is all AI. Why is this AI? Like, that is an AI lady. Complete and total AI. Do we, num, 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 num. That's so funny. Num, 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 num. Num, 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 num. Num, 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 num. Yo, 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 yo. It's so good. Yo, 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 yo. It's so funny. Okay, I'll stop.
And she is
Oh, look at this face. Hold on. Wait. Oh, where was it? No, I lost it. Oh, I lost it. Dang it.
thankfully, and in her own words, became a slut.
Great. Okay, we're still going on with this character I learned. Okay. As she drank gin martinis. I thought that said Martians first. That would have been cooler. Blah, 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 blah.
That's the entire nature of this
All right.
article that she's written, as she described.
We're still here?
I decided to special.
Oh my gosh, we're still talking about this. I don't
This
care.
article is like describe these.
Don't
two
pick your nose on
that
stream,
lip
Candace.
gloss article
Where is it?
thing
Where'd you-
other than it's
There
so
it is.
disturbing.
Oh, yeah.
To
Let's get that
she-
action in here.
When I
Hold
tell
on.
you this article is it's so disturbing to me that anybody could read this, then
There
that's
we go.
empowering. And it's incredibly degrading. She just degrades herself. She described having a pretty traumatic birth into prostitution. And the young women this route in life. This leads to absolute misery.
Okay.
It's passive aggressive and her seriously as a life partner, but I think embarrassing for her innocent young 5-year-old son when he is able to
Wait, who's she
rethink
talking
for
about?
embarrassing. What upset me the most is knowing that she is a mother. And I can't imagine anything for embarrassing for her innocent young 5-year-old
Oh, wait,
speed
no,
when herself
Erica doesn't have a 5-year-old.
into disaster. But she stands as a stark example of the misery that can unfold
I appreciate that. Smiles.
if
Funny.
you go too far the other way. So I was like, I feel like I am, and truly, I hope she gets to this and whatever she has going on, miserable. And anyway, I wanted to back after a quick break.
Okay. I could have skipped pretty good there. I just wasn't sure if I was missing anything, like, from a different subject, because I couldn't have imagined this going on that
Never
long.
investigated. They're just like a little corrupt. You got not to be
okay.
reality. They had been yesterday's episode. Top 2 comments.
There we
This
go.
person, Israel, Texas, writes, a woman with a headband in her basement doing more investigation of Charlie's death than the entire Federal Bureau of Investigation cannot be reality. Oh, it can be, because the Federal Bureau of Investigation is not investigating. They've never investigated. They've always been corrupt, you guys.
What do you mean they're not investigating? There's an open investigation. Why would you just say that? Why would you contradict that? Hold on. Okay. A woman with a headband in her basement doing more investigation of Charlie's death than the entire Federal Bureau of Investigation can't be reality. They are investigating still, though. It's still an open case. I don't know what you're talking about. They never closed it. Let's see. See if there is a response here. There is not. We'll see if there is later. That is not Grok. Okay. Is the FBI still investigating Charlie Kirk's murder? Let's see. Let's see what the Grok machine says. And then we'll find a link. Okay. Let's see it. We'll play her video until that.
They were established to be corrupt. They've been corrupt. They're just like a little corrupt federal police force.
I agree, they're corruption.
And there's
never
definitely
been a time corruption
where, like,
in the FBI.
The FBI was really doing good work for 10. They never
Sure.
were involved in anything bad. It's its entire history.
Yes, right? we know. We know that there's corruption. There's corruption in every police force, though. I mean, somewhere there's going to be a corrupt person. Bad guys flock to good areas. There's a reason, you know? It's like people think that doctors, would never be a serial killer. But the serial killer who's killed the most people is definitely a doctor. We know that. He ended up fleeing the United States when he finally got caught and killed like 700 more people over in Africa. It was crazy. Have y'all ever heard of that guy? It's like the craziest, like, serial killer of all time. Was smart enough to go and get a doctor, like a degree to become a doctor, a medical doctor, a surgeon, I believe, actually. And so he could just operate and end people's lives whenever he wanted on the table, and did it for a very long time because he was a doctor and nobody thought a doctor could be doing that, It was crazy. So anyway, but yeah, bad guys get into really good positions. People need to accept that, that's just a fact. The better position they get in, the more stuff they get away with, Yes, according to the FBI's official updates page, their investigation into the assassination of Charlie Kirk remains ongoing. Let's see the actual thing. Here we go. FBI. What is FBI here? FBI. Oh, this is the actual official. Okay. Yep. Utah Valley updates. This page features the update. Okay. Let's see. Let's see here. Please call. Oh, okay. So they got it all. So they're asking for updates still. It's all, yep, this page is all, yep. According to this page, it is ongoing still. It's not closed down. It's not done. So there is that. We have, Wikipedia here, if you wanted that. Let me see if I can actually just search, like, on, doesn't say ongoing per se, but I think typically they would, like, please contact the OSBI, the Orem Victims Assist. I read it often, OSBI. If you have questions about the resources and the reforms, all this stuff, who have been affected. I don't think they'd be asking for tips if the case was closed. So, pretty sure you're wrong there, Candace, according to the FBI themselves.
Right? And like I said, everything about Kash Patel makes my skin crawl. He's obviously up to no good. It's so obvious. I mean, he's not even trying. He's angry. He's lashing out. Exactly as he was presented in that Atlantic article, that's what he gives off. He gives off like he's temperamental, like he's not really in control, and like somebody else is pulling the strings. And also remarkably petty. I will say that. I mean, to have the FBI basically tone policing the internet. We don't like that you said denied. Well, then why'd you deny it?
They didn't deny it. It never said denied. It said it was going to be delayed. That's not a denial. They said we need more than 20 days to get you what you're asking for. That's what they said. They never denied you. They never said it was a burden. They never did any of that. They just said they needed more than 20 days.
Like, why did you deny it by 20 days and tell me that it's
Deny it by 20 days. Deny my 20 days. That's what she just said. Why'd they deny my 20 days?
basically tone policing the internet? We don't like that you said denied. Well, then why'd you deny it? Like, why did you deny it by 20 days?
This lady is psychotic. She is absolutely psychotic. She's just like, why'd you deny my 20 days? Candace, that's how you're gonna twist this? That was the weakest twist I've ever seen come off your channel. I actually would buy into the whole Erica Kirk being a Black Widow before you twist this one up into it got denied my 20 days. My 20 days. That is such an insane claim. That's wild. Oh, you denied my 20 days. What? That was so weak.
And tell me that it's
Wow.
because it's too complicated. We're asking you for 3 days of someone's schedule. Completely ridiculous.
You don't know that it would take 3 days. You don't know that it would take 3 days to literally map out every single second that Cash Patel was for the day.
Sarah Bryan writes,
That's
I missed
crazy.
that. Little Bird wrote, it's actually much better that you came to this from the long way round. You built your case from the ground up, Candace, and now all the dots are connecting. Explosive indeed. Yeah.
And when they're asking for receipts too, she's asking for his paper receipts of what he purchased that day and stuff. Like, all that's not necessarily going to even be on a computer system. Could just be in a file somewhere that they then have to scan and upload to the computer because they never thought, hey, someone will request this. So they didn't go ahead and just put it online. That's probably in a file somewhere till someone requests it and they go, oh, we got to put this online now. You know what I mean?
Yes, I really do believe that
It'll
there is
take time.
something to the explosive theory. And I did go my own route and get there. I saw all the theories that were out there and I didn't feel comfortable in engaging in them. I felt like my focus was best due going over the timeline, going over what was happening in Charlie's life, seeing what was happening with Israel, finding turning point, lying at every turn throughout this to fully comprehend why they would be tied to Israel in such a regard. And I have arrived that it is a very viable theory, like I said, that makes all of the other pieces come together that just don't make sense. They suddenly do make sense when you believe or consider that an explosive went off under his chest, including the way his body.
Makes absolutely no sense. You know why? Y'all want to know how hot? I asked this question. I didn't think to. So, how hot is... oh, wait a minute. Did I post this right here? No credible evidence. Modeling agency. Here we go. During detonation, instantaneous explosion. Pteroithro, whatever, PETN is the chemical that Candace Owens is talking about. Reaches extreme temperatures of roughly 3,800 to 4,140 Kelvin, about 3,500 degrees Celsius, or 6,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Do you know that is hotter than molten metal? Molten metal isn't that hot. I don't think, anyway. How hot is molten steel? I believe yeah. So 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit to almost 3,000. If you go above 3,000, then, oh, wait, is that melting point? Yeah, it's melting point. Okay. So, melting point, relatively low. I think most, like, blacksmiths try to not, like, get their blade any hotter than, that they're making than, like, 1,800 degrees, I think it is. So that way they could still mold it and not, like, scorch it. But anyway, yeah, that is hotter than molten steel. Okay? All over Charlie Kirk. All over his shirt from the inside. And you're telling me it wouldn't have blown it up. Like, Blake Bednar's tried to tell me, he goes, well, it wasn't a flamethrower under there. I'm like, I don't think you understand. It is a flamethrower under there, actually. Even if it's a tiny one. And it is way hotter than any flamethrower. A flamethrower doesn't get that hot. How hot is a flamethrower? I think it's like 800 degrees, if I remember right. Okay, it's a little hotter than that. It's 1,400 to 5,000, I guess, depending on what fuel is used there. Yeah, that's what it says, depending on what fuel is used. Liquid-based incendiary mixtures produce... Well, that's like military grade. I'm not talking about military napalm. That's not what I'm even close to considering. Yeah, gasoline's usually it. Oh, wow. They burn above 3,000 degrees? I didn't know that. That's crazy. Still hotter than a flamethrower, though, by far. By far, you know? 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit is still not as hot as 6,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Think about it. That's 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit's already hotter than crap, and that's how hot this is coming out. Your water, when it burns your hand from the sink, that's because your sink water's like at 130 degrees or more temperature. And you know how you stick your hand there, you go, oh God, that's way too hot. That's about 130 degrees. Now imagine that multiplied to 6,500. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. And you're telling me that wouldn't have gone through his shirt at all? There wouldn't even be at least a little black mark poking through? Nothing?
Body moves. If you have the stomach to watch it, you can see it. It just looks like something comes up. That's why I initially thought someone shot him from underneath.
Why would they come up if it's up here? How did it come up? That doesn't make any sense, Candace. It's clipped right here. That's what you argued. It would have absolutely, especially if it comes up, how did it go under his shirt and not tear his shirt? How's that possible? How is it possible that it didn't burn holes in his shirt? None of this makes sense, Candace. That is so unlikely. And not to mention this thing, it didn't blow away from him when it went off. It went towards him. When I fired a weapon, I've never had it drag me forward. That doesn't make sense. Too many laws of motions here being violated.
Was just looking at the motion of how he was moving. Anyway, I think we are inching closer there. So we'll see if more people are writing us, and we'll take time, as we always do, to research every angle of it. Comments from today's episode. Nabby writes, thank you, Nabby, by the way. That's a very...
Notice how this is the second episode she said comments from today's episode. Huh. I guess she's done with that,
kind tip. We all appreciate everything that you do, Candace.
At least for now.
Stay safe. Worse things have happened to those who have said less. My family and I are praying for you and your family. The question I hate to ask, on the basis of your findings from afar, how does this all happen secretly right under Charlie's nose? In my years of following him, he is no fool. Yes, well, I can tell you he trusted the people that were around him. I mean, it happened under my nose technically too, right? I mean, I never suspected Tyler.
You were telling Charlie that you didn't like these people coming in. What are you talking about? Happened under your nose too, and you didn't notice, huh? That's a little odd. That's a little flip-flop.
Boyer to be the person living the kind of life that he was living. I didn't know any of the stuff about Tyler Boyer. I didn't know any of the stuff about Andrew Colvett when I was working there, when I was on tour with Charlie. And so it's having faith in people. Most of all, your wife. And like I said, Charlie saved himself for marriage, and the Garden of Eden was lost to a woman. I truly believe that I know that Charlie fell for Erica, and that would have been sort of his first real relationship in life. And there's a lot that can happen. I mean, not everything is mental, right? You are having a physical connection to somebody, and that can transform. As a husband, you want to make your wife happy, right? If you have a Christian perspective and you believe that you married a godly woman and you're going to let her be in the driver's seat, everybody knows that. That's kind of, women, as they say, you're going to be, that's going to be your number one confidant for any man is going to be his wife, and vice versa. And so if she's saying to him, lean more into faith, and he wants to make his wife happy, and he lets her get involved in the faith department as he did, and she's bringing in all these pastors, why would he be suspicious of that? Why would he be like, well, I need to deep dive? He was just, yay, it's evangelical, mega church. I love the Lord. And so I trust my wife loves the Lord, and that's it.
So you just think he was a big old dumb idiot. Not very nice of you, Candace.
Takes trusting the wrong people. And Charlie was definitely naive in those ways. I was naive when I got into politics. I consider myself a naturally suspicious person. And look how much I believed in Trump. It can happen to anybody. It really can happen to anybody. Sarah Bryan writes, Candace, you are the bravest woman I've ever seen. I pray for you every day and for your family. And
hey, I don't know if that was that message deleted. What the heck? That's weird. What else going on in chat here? Let's see. Let me kind of take a look. What is going on with that? Well, deleting your reply. All right, man. What? Why are these messages held from review, but I cannot approve them at all? That's odd. What else? So wait, what else happening? I'm confused. Will it not let me approve? Oh, I see why it won't let me approve them, because chat doesn't go that far back. Gotcha. I guess they were a while ago. Did you, wait, were you thinking that I was deleting your replies or something? I promise I wasn't. There was just a few, I see some comments that were put on held for review, but I think the comments ended up scrolling up too high, and it doesn't matter because they got, essentially, you can't go that far back in chat. She claimed, Andrew deleted her reply in the comment section. Like on X? Oh, okay. I thought I was getting blamed for deleting someone's comments. I was like, I swear I wasn't. I swear I wasn't deleting anybody's comments, so yeah.
Only the best can come to you for all that you have done. You
Okay,
have got to
tell
be
me the
best
story,
friend that
sorry.
Charlie ever had. Keep going. Keep searching for the answer. I am sure that you will find it. May God bless you. Thank you so much, and I'm just grateful to everyone who's contributed in this investigation, and
We'll
that
wrap this
people
up.
have remained interested. There's something about it that I think renders us all unsafe if someone like Charlie Kirk can be taken out in broad daylight, and
Look,
there can be so much collusion.
Candace, I am not saying by any stretch of the means that there isn't some stuff worth looking into. I'm not saying that there isn't some FBI involvement. I do believe there could be FBI involvement. It's a possibility. There are parts of the FBI that are very, very, very corrupt. There are parts of the FBI that are 100% pro-left. There are parts of the FBI that are working with Antifa, as we saw many times when Antifa always goes and riots at the Capitol and stuff like that, and they do all this other stuff. They never get held accountable for it. There are obviously police standing down, FBI not investigating that stuff. There are FBI that's been caught helping them. There are FBI members who was caught by James O'Keefe back in like 2014, 2015, 2017 that were aiding Antifa members, especially in like Oregon and stuff like that. There was all sorts of different things going on that he showed, like agents, like FBI agents talking crap, getting busted, talking to women that they planted, that they were saying, oh yeah, we're doing this and that. There's so many different things going on. So yeah, I believe the FBI could be aiding Antifa in taking Charlie Kirk out for sure. Maybe TPUSA did take Charlie out, right? The problem I have is when you come out and say that's what happened and provide zero evidence. Like if you're going to accuse somebody, you can't just accuse people of doing things that you have no evidence of. I have no evidence that the FBI hasn't been completely rooted out and has not been helping out the left for quite some years. I have no idea. Seeing that we just got off the rear end of Joe Biden, I'm willing to bet that it has not been 2 years even that the FBI has been not corrupt. I don't know that Trump has gotten every leftist out of the FBI either. That may be impossible. That may genuinely be impossible to have happen. Maybe these guys are very good at staying undercover and not outing that they're leftists, crazy, not just leftists, but like Antifa members that are in the FBI. Anything is possible. We don't know. So it's just silly for her to be like, oh, we're the only ones that are questioning this. We're the only ones that think that Tyler Robinson didn't act alone. And it's like, no, even like everybody knows Tyler Robinson didn't act alone. There's definitely Lance Twiggs. They only gave him partial immunity. You think that if he wasn't involved in some way, shape, or form, that he wouldn't have full immunity, right? If he was just an innocent victim in all of this circumstance, had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk, why would they only give him partial immunity? Why not full immunity? Obviously, he may be guilty of being involved with this crime. And then that makes you wonder, well, who's the trans guy also involved with outside of that? Trantifa? Communities that were very much giving Charlie Kirk death threats every day? I don't know. Probably that, but she won't even entertain that. She won't even entertain that one bit. She won't even look at the evidence. She hates all the evidence. And that makes me suspicious because I'm open to all of them. I'm open to TPUSA taking him out. I'm open to Trantifa taking him out. I'm open to the FBI being involved with either or. And I'm open to Tyler Robinson, which is the most likely scenario, according to evidence, taking him out. But Candace has decided who did it without any evidence whatsoever. That's why I'm so skeptical of Candace Owens in general.
To cover it up amongst the people who he put into power. Like that renders none of us safe, and that's why I keep going, because I already know I'm unsafe if Charlie's out of this world and this is happening. It means like the devil's got us. You know what I mean? It means that this country is being run by satanic people, in my view. What about yours?
It definitely wasn't with Joe Biden, though, right? That's why you had Hunter Biden on to clarify that.
James the Least writes, could the White House crash out over the files have anything to do with Trump suddenly finding himself on Bibi's bad side for walking away from Iran? Crash over the files. Trump suddenly find. No, I mean, the White House, that is the beginning. I think the timeline here is wrong. The New York Times was recounting everything that happened at the beginning of the administration when Trump began to crash out over the files. Like that was happening as soon as he came in. Obviously, we all know, we followed the Binder episode. Pam Body's not even in the White House anymore. And I that took place long before the Iran thing. So I don't think it does.
She doesn't want to talk about Iran, does she? I think she's going to stay away from that subject for a little while now.
Tony Hill writes, hi, Candace. I was shocked hearing you talk about Corey Comparator the other day because I just looked him up 2 weeks ago, wondering if there was something more to that, but I didn't think that there would be. We love and support you in all that you do. Go Max. I love how naturally that story came to me. I always suspected that something was weird, obviously, about the Thomas Crooks story, but I never thought that we would get to that point of tying it all in and potentially having something to even to do with Charlie's assassination. So
you haven't even come close to tying it in. Not even a smidgen close. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm always so grateful to you guys that send me these stories and these things that you're really passionate about. Anna writes, your show is my favorite part of the day. I love what you do and what you stand for. Thank you. Also, 3 out of 4 of Jeffrey Epstein's grandparents were born in Russia.
Hey, Jujubee, thanks for gifting a membership.
In Russia. The other one, Lithuania. Okay, that was correct. Does anybody know anything about them? I could guess. Probably had something to do with the radical groups that assassinated the Tsar. I'm just throwing it out there. They were all freaks and Satanists. RN Explorer writes, Candace, I feel you are so close to exposing it all. Your bravery is inspirational. Your friendship and loyalty to Charlie is a great example of how we should all be to each other. I pray for you, your family, and for all of you to remain safe. Keep the prayers up, guys. I know that they keep us safe, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I just want my kids to grow up.
So prayers keep you safe, but scripture doesn't. Gotcha.
Up in a world that's not run by people who protect pedophiles and human traffickers. Is that so much to ask? I just feel like we are asking for so little. Like, can you guys not rape kids?
You should ask that to Biden. Why didn't you ask him?
And they're like, sorry, you're asking for too much. The burden is too great.
Oh, did Biden tell you that too?
The burden's too great. They can't not do that. Can you not protect people who traffic minors? Sorry, you're asking for too much. The burden is too great. Okay.
They never said the burden in that file, Candace. Come on. In that email, I mean, not file. They never claimed anything about a burden. Thank you, Patrina, for also gifting a membership to someone. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Oh, wait. That sent one. Wait. Oh, you sent it to IDK the Future. I got you. Hey, cool. Glad to have you on now as a member. And who else? Who got the other membership? It was Dirt Bike. Dirt Bike got the membership. Heck yeah, man. Glad to have you in.
This is where we're at right now in the world. They can't do it.
Thank you guys so much.
They cannot do that. Your request has been denied. The El Assassinator writes, Battle Bun, and is that a maroon button down? Actually, it's an aubergine button down. We were just talking before we went on air about.
Yeah, that so that is way out of my price range. That word was way out of my price range. I've never heard of that color before.
The differences in the English, proper London boy English, like I married, and American, and so many times that people will tell me that I'm mispronouncing something, and you don't realize what goes on in this household with American pronunciations versus English pronunciations and words that my husband just says, we created the language, so we're saying it correctly. And Aubergine is what they call eggplant. So I say it's aubergine. And in this house, we've agreed to call eggplant aubergine. We just have to come to an agreement. It's like we're constantly fighting the Revolutionary War in this house and just having to come to an agreement.
And you constantly have to concede because you would make a crap president, but good job.
And so, but aubergine does.
How dare you, like, actually surrender our American spoken language here to the Brits, to the Nancy boys? Are you kidding me? That's actually that's just offensive right there. You don't capitulate to the Nancy boys of the UK ever. You just don't. We're American, all right? We don't bend over backwards. We don't bend over forwards. We don't even try to tie our own shoes to them dang old Nancy boys, as they would call them. Dang old Nancy boys. I don't know. I'm being too mean about the UK people. They're fine. They're fine. I'm glad they're fixing their country right now. It's nice and refreshing. They had to let 250,000 girls suffer to get to that point. That is a lot farther than we Americans would have taken it for sure. But they learned their lesson. It was probably, oh man, that's a crazy tragedy. That is a tragedy. By the time this is done, the UK better have the right to bear arms. Let's put it that way. This is the moment of time where the UK needs to actually have the right to bear arms restored. Because that is insanity. That's pure insanity that they let it get to 250,000 victims.
Sound better than eggplant.
Like, how in the world do you get to 250,000 victims? That's just so insane.
We actually looked it up like 10 minutes before we went on air. It's because the original eggplant, the variety that was sent to America.
I don't care about your eggplant, Candace.
As opposed to
Candace Owens talking about her eggplant.
Aubergine. It's very basic, but to make you feel plants.
Oh,
something
still
I learned
talking
about
about
my husband. This is crazy. He didn't know what cursive was. And I was like, what do you mean you don't know what cursive is? And this woman that's helping us with homeschooling was like, what do you mean you don't know what cursive is? Like, what do you guys call it in the UK? Guess what they call cursive in the UK?
Willy Whipple or something like that. It's going to be something silly.
Joined up.
Oh, okay. So it sucks.
It's way more proper than joined up. And we sound. The Alsacinator writes, power pony. Battle Bun, yeah, is that, okay, let me finish your comment. Battle Bun, is that a maroon button down? Thank you so much for continuing to
You've
fight
written
for
a lot
truth
of comments.
and answers. You have truly become a voice for the people. Candace, I pray for God's guidance, power, and grace to be ceaseless. Christ is King. We need you, a voice for the people, and we need you to find a way to take back our tax money. The incredible amount of tax money that goes into supporting evil. I want my money back. Go Max, Candace, Christ is King. Hail Mary, full of grace. Yes to all of that. I mean, it has been, we're learning a lot, man. We are learning a lot. And I do think information is power. I do sense desperation in what they are doing. They are losing control, not gaining it. The more they lean into the evil, the more they lean into the lies, the more they expose themselves. Like, we have reached the tipping point, you know? And so,
yeah, there's no way her kids are doing cursive right now anyway. You got a good point. My kid is barely writing as it is, you know what I mean? She's writing, but yeah, my kids, I'm pretty sure are older than hers. I think her kids are all younger than mine, right? Five, yeah. Oh, no, but her oldest is just a little bit older than mine. Wait. No. They'll be turning 6 in January. Yeah, so my oldest is older than hers. There's no way they're writing in cursive yet. She's so full of crap. What is she talking about? A 5-year-old learning cursive? I didn't learn cursive until I was in 3rd grade.
So that's something to be
no way.
positive about. I remain happy every day. I laugh every day. And just remember that was something that Charlie always wanted, for people to be happy warriors. I know the entire messaging of his podcast is completely different. They seem agitated all the time, and they're screaming and they're telling us don't ask questions. But everything that we are doing has represented a better legacy for Charlie Kirk than the people who inherited his empire, so to speak. Anyway, you guys, we will see you on Monday.
Oh, that's it for that. Okay. Yep. That was a waste of time, though. That was a lot of comments, though. Good for her for actually giving a little bit more to her fans, not a crazy lot. Man, if I could say this, I would probably spend like an hour after the show just reading comments only. Like, that's fair. Like, she doesn't even have to work like but 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day. She could actually just spend an hour reading like a lot of her comments out. Like that, I feel like that's a courtesy she does, could give her audience, but whatever. That's crazy. Like I could only imagine. Like even if I go full time with YouTube, end up with like 1 million subscribers, I can't imagine not streaming for more than like 4 hours a day and making at least some videos and stuff. But to do it for just 1 hour a day and not even take an hour to read comments, that just seems rude. But at least she's doing more now, so I can at least, give that. Hey, where's my pinned comment, by the way? The heck? That's weird. Is my pinned comment still there? Let's see. Here we go. Just in case. Go subscribe to those girls' channels. Oh, replace pinned comment? What the heck? Okay. Wait, this is them, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I was gonna say, I was like, oops. Click that link there for sure. And subscribe to them. Because yeah, they deserve it. They deserve to have some subscribers. Ryan Morrow is going to be on with Lady Luck in 12 minutes. Really? Oh, heck yeah. Good for her. Good for her. That's awesome. Let's go check it out. Is Gary live right now too? I bet he probably is. Let's see. Oh, Sore Hands uploaded a new video. Check that out. Wait. It's showing nobody's live right now. Except for, wait, what the heck? Why is it not showing live? Can I, like, shorten this list up? Okay, yeah, it's not showing anybody live at the moment. That's weird. Like, Guitar Talk, they're live. But it's not showing it here in my list. Why not? Why is it always why is finding stuff that I need always a problem on YouTube now? Let's see what we got here. Oh, this guy, oh, that's an old one. Who am I, see, Jay Witt was just live 4 minutes ago, I guess. Or this was uploaded 4 minutes ago. I have no idea. Oh, wait, I should. Yeah, it was just an upload. Never mind. Omegle, this guy's funny. Just letting you know. Let's see here. Nothing live. This was just live, so there's that. Massive update in the Kirk case an hour ago from Tatum. Huh. Interesting. I haven't seen Super Mega in a long time. Why is nothing live? That's so weird. Am I actually subscribed to nobody that's live right now? That isn't actually crazy. Because I have like a lot of subscriptions. Who all am I subscribed to? Bearing uploaded a new video, apparently. Winter Sun did, but I watched that one. So why is it? Bool. Wow, every single person has a new video on all this. Oh, this can't be every single person. Like, this can't be, how would I put it? Like, this has to be a filtered list. Some people aren't showing up here because there's no way. There are channels I'm subscribed to that are dead. Several channels that I'm subscribed to that are dead. So they changed the list. That really sucks. I can't access all of my subscribers anymore. Isn't that crazy? Or not subscribers, all the people I'm subscribed to. I can't access them at all. Just only the ones that have uploaded recently. That's crazy. Oh, I could click all subscriptions right here, though. Okay. That really is a waste of my time. Wow. And then I do this, which will not show me if they're live or not or anything. Why did YouTube do this? That sucks. Okay. Crap. What, who's searching this stuff? Colombian national football team, Canada men's national soccer team, Czech Republic. Like, none of this is the guitar stuff I look for at all. Like, none of it. Oliver Tree, I don't even know who that is. Like, I saw that he had died in that helicopter crash, but I've never searched him on YouTube. I don't listen to that kind of music. I don't know who this is either. Braden Price, Iconic by Mistake, Cheerleader, Felix John Remix, Radio Edit. What is going on? It's weird. Maybe does it fix? Nope, it doesn't even fix at home. My search history's gone now. That's annoying. That sucks. Whatever. Let's go to Lady Luck Club here. Boop. Okay, when does she go live? 8 p.m.? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, guys, I'll send you all over there. She's going to be live here in a few. Click her link. You guys know where to go there. I'm going to keep the these girls' YouTube pinned there because I feel like they deserve it a bit more right now because they only got like 16 subscribers. You know what I mean? So I feel like it does them a little bit more of a service. But definitely go check out Lady Luck. I just commented it, and I'm going to comment it again. That link there. Grab that link and go over to Lady Luck's page here. Lady Luck Club. You'll find her. She's right here. And, yeah. Hey, go to that live stream. It's going to be a good one. You can tell. It'll be a good one for sure. Oh, wait. No, this isn't it right here. Oh, crap. This one's, like, for later. I forget she does that. Hold on. A day ago. This one here. Coming up, right? And cracking the code, the Candace code with Ryan Morrow. Okay, here we go. So she's got this one coming up. What's this one? Scheduled for 6:18, 6:30 p.m. Oh, this one was upcoming and then missed? I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. It's this one right here. So there we go. This is crazy to me. The double live stream things. I know one's vertical. I need to probably do that. I bet I'm missing a lot of traffic by doing that. I need to just set it up, but it bothers me. It bothers me that there's two at the same time next to each other. And I don't know why, because I don't think this is a page I would ever even see unless I go to it to show you guys. So maybe I'm just being a baby about it. I don't know. I like neat, orderly. And this just like breaks that monotony for me. I wish at least it would just have this in a vertical orientation. Like if it just showed that, this is probably a YouTube problem. It's just YouTube the way they do it. If they had it and they had its own thumbnail for the vertical, you know what I mean? That would be so much better. YouTube should really do that. I don't know. That's just me complaining. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for being here. I need to read off everything you guys have done for me today. Because thank you all so much. Susie Q for the 5. I really appreciate that. Cherokee Chick for joining as a troll. Eric for the 5, what did I call it? Bawbucks. Heck yeah, man. I appreciate that. Juju B for donating a gift. And Patrina Rich for also donating a gift membership. Thank you all so much for that. I really appreciate that. Sorry, guys. I've been up since 2 in the morning, so I'm actually really starting to just crash, and I'm crashing fast. I'm finding it really hard to keep my eyes open at the moment. Man, I did not expect to stay there for an extra 5 hours. Like I said, it's nice because I did need that overtime. So it's like I can't be mad, but I so didn't want it to be today. I didn't want it to be today. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's a blessing, it's a curse at the same time. I'm just thankful to have it. You know what I mean? So I can't be too upset, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh, I just wanted to stay home. It's muggy, it's raining, and I was outside in nothing but soot, like wet soot. It's just like, just sucked. Anyway, it's all good though. Thank you all so much for being here, and I'll see you all here in the, oh, Mr. White. Oh, okay, well, can't say that out loud. Wow, yeah. Sorry, man, I do got to delete that. I know that was funny, but, you know, YouTube rules will not allow me to actually have that. I'm sorry, man. Can't do that. Even as a joke. I know you meant it as a joke, but YouTube will ban me. And then the channel goes down. So, can't have that. Just YouTube TOS. But anyway, but I know you meant it as a joke, man. I know you're not trying to be, unless you didn't mean it as a joke and you're trying to be mean. Then, in that case, I don't support that because, obviously not. But, I'm taking it as a joke. Thank you guys for being here. Sorry about that. That came in last second. I do appreciate it, man. I really do. I appreciate the two. It was the opposite of Black Power, is what the guy said. I think that's allowed on YouTube, but I don't know. I haven't read their updated rules per se. I'm just still in 2016 mode, from when I started. Or not 2016. It wasn't that bad then. Like 2020, when they cracked down on us very, very hard, and it's just like, I don't know. Savs, eat leftover pot roast. That's a better meal. It's a meaty meal. You don't eat out. Try and stop with that. I'm trying myself so hard to stop as well, So, lock in, and unless it's a cheat day. But for the most part, lock in. We're all in this together. Getting healthy. Getting off the... Wait, what chemical was it? Getting off the atrazine. Or wait, actually, that's probably in this. Never mind, that was the worst example I could have given. I'm such an idiot. That's amazing. That's the worst possible example I could have given. Of course, it's in all the water. All the water. So, yeah. That's what's great. Whatever. Getting the forever chemicals out or whatever. Not the forever chemicals, the dyes and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, thank you all so much for being here. I really do appreciate it, guys, and I'll see y'all here in the next one. Later.